Hello, hello. Welcome to My Life is a Classroom. I'm Lonee Appleton. I am a healthy family advocate. What that means is I advocate for the health and vitality of families, whatever that may look like for your family. The idea isn't for me to necessarily give you any type of instructions, but just to give you a foundation for you to start figuring things out for yourself, just to give you an idea to know that something different can happen. So yes, if you vibe with what I have going on here, please follow, subscribe, depending on what platform you're on. Yes, I upload all my lives to YouTube, Lonee Appleton Live, so make sure you follow there if you're not already followed. You can always catch a live on TikTok. Presently, I am trying to transition over to YouTube, but I got my start here, so here we are. But here on TikTok, Monday through Saturday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I am here live, and you can ask questions, and just we chill together that way. I'm just rambling because my life is just starting. I took a hit today. I've been taking a hit. I've been trying to establish an income, and I keep getting thwarted. Thwarted is the word for the day. My lips are shiny. I think because I'm an artist, I look at the shine on my lips and how if I were to paint my lips right now, how I would paint the highlights around my lips. Hey, Allie D. Welcome. So yeah, my attempts to establish an income keep getting thwarted. And it really is causing me, hello, fairy godmother, welcome. I sure need you in my life right now. Can you grant me some wishes, please? God dang it. Life is kicking me, and I don't know if life is kicking me. It's all about perspective. But I have a need, and I keep trying to satisfy said need, and every attempt that I am making to satisfy said need keeps getting thwarted. Welcome to the live. I am Lonee Appleton. This is My Life is a Classroom. Hope you stick around. We just talk about my life and we learn from it. And we do that not because I'm self-absorbed. We talk about it because I don't talk about other people's business, but I could talk about my own, and in talking about my own business, there's lessons to learn from it. And if we build up the muscle to learn lessons through others' examples, then we can now take those tools or those muscles and apply them to our own life. So that's what we do over here. And I'm trying to, there's his headphones right there. But I'm trying to get some things going over here, and it's just not working. And it's not frustrating. It's not discouraging. I can't think of the exact word that it is, but it's like, okay, God, I know you're telling me to do something, and so I'm doing what you're saying to do, but when I'm doing what you're saying to do, it ain't popping. So it's like frustrating in the respect that there is a need right now. Welcome to the live. I'm Lonee Appleton, and I am talking about my life. And my life is a classroom, and through that, we're able to learn some lessons. It's just frustrating, the space that I'm in right now, because, okay, if not this, then what? If not this, then what? That is the frustration that I believe many of us feel when we're we actually are, following intuition, listening to our higher selves, and taking direction. And I've made a very solid effort to discern between when this is my thinking and when this is my intuition. I made the commitment to always listen. And so in that commitment to always listen, I have been able to, what I believe, discern between my thoughts and my intuition. And so as I move, and the way that this thing that I'm working on is evolving, I'm trying to set up my TikTok shop. And I cannot set up my TikTok shop because I have community violations. And I have community violations and I don't do anything wrong. So it's super frustrating. That's always been my frustration with TikTok. And it's so funny because my husband was trying to, hey, Pepper Jack Kobe, how you doing? You know, I laughed when my husband, he was like, well, I can't sign up for Facebook Reels because I have so many, you know, community violations. But my husband really be out here on Facebook talking mad stuff, arguing with people. You know, the culture of social media where, you know, we just jump big with everybody for no damn reason. You know, so my husband doesn't jump, but he responds. You know, he's not going to be the first person to say some slick stuff, but he ain't going to let you say some slick stuff and let it ride. You know, so when he was trying to monetize with Facebook Reels, he couldn't monetize with them because he has all these, I mean, he lived in jail. He would get out of jail, and within the week he would be back in jail, and then he'd get out of jail. Then y'all know how the Facebook jail thing works. So he stayed locked up, you know. Over here, because of the nature of my content, I stay getting community violations. And it's like, okay, I want to be progressive on this platform, i.e., be able to get from this platform what I need to get from this platform. But I also want to move and have the type of conversations that we need to heal and evolve ourselves. Like, I could talk about topical stuff, but topical isn't healing. We need to dive deep and we need to heal things, and healing is coming from a space of trauma. Healing is coming from a space of hurt. And if we can't talk about trauma and we can't talk about hurt, then how are we ever going to heal? What is my point? I ain't got no point. You know, I could show the cutesy family moments, but that's not what I want to do. I don't want to show, you know, hey, look at my cute kids and look at how dope we are. I don't want to show that. I want to show real life. Let's get this together. Can we save? We may not be able to heal the world, but can we heal our family? Anyway, so I'm frustrated. The wind was knocked out of my sails because, you know, I started setting up this TikTok shop. So I was like, okay, God, is this what you're sending my way so that this is going to be my income? Because I could sell some stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm already in the mode of going live every day. I'm already in the mode of building relationships and building, you know, trust with my community. I'm already in the mode of, you know, talking about merch and, you know, selling stuff, Lonnie Taylor art merch, you know, pick up your books. I'm already in the mode. You know what I'm saying? So let's just bring other people's merchandise into it, and which is something I wanted to do when I first started TikTok. I was like, I really want to encourage people to, you know, shop small business. I want to encourage people to, you know, shop small minority woman owned business and however many you could put on it. I want to, you know, work with other brands out there, small brands, and help bring notoriety to them. So when the whole TikTok shop thing presented itself, I just felt that, okay, I believe this is it. This is a way that I could continue to create my content. I could continue to do the work, hey Trinity, and, you know, it bring in an income for me. But I promise every step of the way, thank you so much, every step of the way of setting up this TikTok thing, it has just been nope. And so now I am confronted with, okay, are these roadblocks or are these, you know, delays? So that's what I'm working with right now, discerning between, okay, God, am I trying to do something that you don't want me to do? But it's been packaged so beautifully. When I tell you, Barbara mentioned a while back, she was like, you should sell your stuff through TikTok shop. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I saw something where it inspired me to start going live daily. So I started going live every day, which is an aspect of TikTok Shop, going live and creating these lives. And then I never scroll my For You page, because if I'm on this app, I'm working. I always say that. And so building relationships is my job, which is beautiful, right? I can have these genuine relationships with people. I can have this fun on this app and build this community, and it's my job. I love what I do, and I love the people that I come in contact with and the people I get to know here. So this day I just happened to be scrolling, and this lady pops up and she's like, I'm having this success with TikTok Shop, and you should too. And I'm like, well, what the hell is TikTok Shop? Because now I'm connecting all these different points about it. And I click on I click on the search of it, and then it brings up another woman who's like, if you don't have anything, or if you don't have the capability of shipping or to keep inventory, but you want to sell, you can be a TikTok Shop affiliate. And I was like, okay, I can do that. And so I started setting up my TikTok Shop, and I stopped because it was like, what's the address for your warehouse? And I was like, well, I don't have an address. I don't want to put my physical address as a return address, because I don't want my return address to be on things that go out, or my home address to be on things that go out to people, so now they could just show up to my doorstep, So I stopped the setup process, and I was like, so I have been setting up this TikTok Shop since the beginning of August, and it is August 19th or 18th or something like that. Thank you for all the love, Trinity. I appreciate it. You already know. Anyway, so it's 18 days I have been dragging my feet. I was like, okay, is this procrastination or is this divine alignment? Is this procrastination or is this divine alignment? Is this me knowing I'm pursuing something that I'm not supposed to be pursuing, but I think I'm supposed to be pursuing it? So it's discerning between, is this intuition or is this just, Lonnie, this is a great idea? I don't know. And so that's the confusion or the whatever of it all. Anyway, so I keep telling myself I'm not going to give up on myself. I keep telling myself that I'm not going to quit on myself. That is my new mantra. I will show up for myself every day, period. So there's things in life that I know that I should do that I often just step over. You know what I'm saying? There's things in life that we know we should do that we often just step over. And it's because our day-to-day function can continue without us doing those things. We typically do the things that are necessary in order for our day to move forward. So the things that aren't necessary for our day to move forward, then those are peripheral things, and we can choose to do those things. Or if we don't do those things, they're things that would, be nice. If I picked up that piece of paper on the floor right there, it would be nice if I picked it up, but it's not required in order for my day to move forward. So now I have to show up for myself and my expectation of my environment that I want it to look like. In order for my environment to look like the way that I want it to look like, I need to pick that piece of paper up. So am I going to deny my preference of a space that I would like to live in simply because I don't want to show up for myself? I do want to show up for myself. I'm done quitting on myself. So I have pursued this TikTok Shop thing because everything is lining up. Like the whole way that it was handed to me, I was like, okay, this is divinity. I believe that it's divinity because it's a way for me to earn income, still record content, be authentic to myself, grow the platform because it'll push my content out to new people. And so I was like, I think this is the win. Well, last night, I'm finally back in, a couple nights before, I'm finally back in the setup space, and I figure out boom. I watch a YouTube channel because I want to link my store to TikTok Shop. Because I think that an issue with sales with my merch is people have to go outside of TikTok to go buy the merch because my merch is dope. So there's no way people don't like it. It's that they have to go to a secondary space to get to it. And so I was like, is it possible for me to link my drop shipping? And thank you so much for the love. You know how to play the game, Trinity, and I appreciate you. Thank you. How is there a way for me to link my merch drop shipper to my TikTok shop? And so I go in and watch a YouTube video, and they're like, no, it's not available in the US yet. And then I go and read the comments, and it was like 2 days before I went and watched the video, and it said, oh, drop shipping's available at the TikTok shop. And it happened like 2 days ago. I was like, okay, divine alignment. The reason why I stopped moving with my TikTok shop, because I'm supposed to be integrating my merch instead of selling other people's stuff, and I had to wait for it to be available in America. And I'm like, okay, boom, divine alignment. So I go in, I'm setting up all the stuff, but the way that they want you to do it is you have to put the weight of the shipping. So shipping from 0 to 100 pounds, how much is the shipping? And I'm like, I have no idea. So I send a message to my drop shipper, and I was like, okay, that's all I can do. I need to accept the things that I can do. Do not have frustration over the things that I have no control over. Because I'm like, okay, I'm trying to do this. I'm Googling or I'm searching all these different possible how-to videos, and I can't find a video. So I close that down. I go start writing me an angel story, because I'm like, okay, I was watching a video, and I was watching a TV show, and that's why no idle time. There's no idle time. Everything is teaching you something if you choose. So I'm watching a movie, and somebody's getting frustrated with what they're working on, and the person next to them is like, if I'm stuck, I switch to another task to help myself get unstuck. And I was like, okay, that's what I'm gonna do. While I was sitting here, because I was like, I just quit. And I was like, don't quit on yourself, Lonnie. Just switch to another task to get unstuck. So I switched to another task, which was writing the story with Angel. And that's when it popped in my head, just send a help desk ticket to the people and ask them what they know about shipping. And so they direct me to their little shipping guide, whatever. But then I think the problem is with the drop shipping, I have to pay for all orders up front through my drop shipping. So if, say, I get $1,000 worth of orders in a day, I don't have the $1,000 to pay for those orders. So ultimately, if I can't find $1,000 in those 3 days, hey Coco, if I can't find $1,000 in those 3 days, then all those orders get canceled, which are strikes against my store. And I don't want that. And so, hey, it's really, how you doing, sis? I've been waiting for my next, well, I haven't been waiting, but if you've done another cooking video, tag me on it. Anyway, and not say I haven't been waiting. I haven't been able to go to people's pages to check out what's going on. How you doing? I haven't been able to go to people's pages and check out what's going on. But tag me. Let me know what's going on. And I'll go watch it. But it's difficult for me to go. It's not difficult. It's just an extra task on top of the task. You know what I'm saying? This goes back to what I said earlier in this live. We do in our day what's necessary to make our day go forward. Anything that's peripheral, if it's not necessary to make our day go forward, we have to choose to do it. So I can choose to go watch everyone's videos, but that's going to add hours onto my day that I just use to live my life. You know what I'm saying? I already spend way too much time on this app. But I am interested in all of your content, so please tag me on anything that you think that would be interesting to me, and I got you. You know what I'm saying? Those of you who I have established relationships with, I got you. Just tag me. Anyway, so I'm setting this thing up, and they send me to these are all of our shipping, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I go in and I start trying to set it up, and not having enough money to fill the orders. And then I remember watching this one lady's video who was like, if you don't want to carry inventory, you can be a collaborator. So you can earn a commission by selling other people's stuff. Like, I just got this hat through TikTok shop. I actually love it, the way it fits my head and contours and boom, boom, boom. you can be kind of a, ambassador for someone else, somebody else's product. I was like, okay, boom, I could do that, earn the money to fund my own side of the TikTok shop. But I got into the back end of what now I know is my own, the seller side instead of the creator side. I got onto the seller side and it was confusing as fuck. And so I paid old girl whose stuff, she has this, I could teach you about TikTok shop. I could help you set it up and be a mentor to you. So, I went and I paid old girl, sorry, Sharika, I'm going to use her name. I respect her. Just because I don't say someone's name, but that's something that I'm moving into. I would like to address people by their names out of respect. And so I don't want to just call her old girl. Her name is Sharika. Hey, Dr. Joe. So, I paid her fee, and y'all know how money is around here. So I was like, God, I'm going to go ahead and pay this because I need help. And why am I going to try to reinvent the wheel when sis done figured the shit out? So let me just link with her. So hello. It's actually 12:22 over here. It's just getting rolling over here, Dr. Joe. And so I pay her. We have our meeting this morning, and I cannot link my TikTok shop because I have community violations. And I am just disgusted. I am disgusted because my last community violation was because I posted a video. I was sitting on the trampoline and I was talking and recording videos, and y'all know how the cotton mouth kicks in. I'm working on my hydration, y'all. I drank 4 of these yesterday. Yes, that is sister support, Lonnie Taylor Art. Pick up yours. I drank 4 of these yesterday, which I would drink half of one of these a day. I know, don't judge me. I know, I'm trying, celebrate my growth. And so, interesting enough, my hands don't hurt as they used to. So I wonder if, they're still swollen and they're doing their thing, but they were just aching and just in a bad shape. And I don't know if it's because of how I was using my hands that they were aching, or I'm like, damn, dehydration is really hitting my body like this. So I've been drinking my water, and I'm going to continue increasing and drinking my 64 ounces a day so that, my hands stop hurting. We need these. It is crazy the things that we take for granted because we just have them. Thank you, Dr. Joe. We take everything for granted, but I didn't appreciate my knees until, bye dear, you showed some love and bounced. I love you. I didn't appreciate my knees until my knees took their ass out, and now it hurts to walk. I didn't appreciate my hands until my finger was swollen. Thousands of videos back, couldn't bend my thumbs. I got trigger finger in this one now. If I actually get it all the way down, I gotta pop it back out. I didn't appreciate my hands, and now my eyes, because I'm always staring at screens, appreciate. And in this season, I've learned what gratitude is. I've learned what give thanks means, and I said that before. I truly saw give thanks in action in Jamaica. They say be grateful and all these things, but I really learned what it meant in Jamaica. I was like, okay, boom. I know what it means. So I can give thanks and be grateful and appreciate even the smallest thing, Anyway, so I just can't catch a break. And I'm like, okay, God, I'm supposed to, I don't think you want me not to earn money. But every time I try to earn money, I get blocked. It's so weird. Oh, yeah. So I'm sitting on the trampoline. Cottonmouth is kicking in. And I'm like, I could either drink water from the hose because I don't want the kids to find me. Those of you who have kids and you find quiet, you don't want to disrupt that quiet for nothing. Caden actually came outside looking for me twice. And both times I froze like a statue because I did not want him to hear me or see me. And he was convinced I wasn't outside, so he went in the house and locked the door and locked my ass outside. And I was like, I will figure that out when it's time for me to go back inside. But I would rather have my peace than to let him know that he locked me outside. So I could either drink water from the water hose, or I walked over, knocked on the window, asked Dre to hand me some water out the window. And they violated that video. I got a community guideline violation because I asked Dre to hand me some water out of the water. Sounds removed from your video for community guide. I have only, and I don't even think, my daughter was 2 weeks from 18 and we were talking about, she told me that she was active. And I'm not going to say any words that could get me another community guideline, because maybe in a month I could do TikTok shop. I don't know when they're going to let the leash up off of me, or if I'm just damned forever. I don't know. But there's a video that I posted where my 2 weeks away from 18-year-old child, but it doesn't matter how old my child is. It's my fucking child. But it doesn't, she told me that she was active, and I was like, what? I didn't know that you were. And she's like, yeah. And I got a community guideline violation for having that conversation with the minor. Talking about my kid and filming a video was offensive to someone. And so I got a community guideline violation. That is the only video that I may agree that I received. Oh, and then the time when Dre came outside when I was on live and he was talking about how his brother found out that his wife wants a divorce and the baby isn't his. And so Dre came outside and saying, yo, so-and-so, the baby ain't even his. And he's using cuss words, and the language that he was using, he was, expressing different ideologies that do violate TikTok's community guidelines. Now, that's just someone in the background of my video saying some things because they don't know I'm on TikTok, and they just open the door and they just start talking, and I get violated for it. And it happens so quick. And that's why I'm 99.999% sure that one viewer that I keep on my TikTok lives is somebody who's waiting for me to say or do something so they can report me. Because it ain't even a second after something that potentially violates a guideline. And like I said, all I did was ask my husband for some water through a window, and my video got blocked. So I don't know. I say all that to say my energy is messed up. I'm messed off. And I'm not upset. I'm just confused. Because are these roadblocks or are these redirections? Is this the universe? I always talk about pebbles and stones and boulders. Is God throwing me pebbles like, nah, sis, this ain't it. This ain't it. This ain't it. But I was like, if this ain't it, what is? Because I need an income. Am I chasing a phantom? Is this a phantom? I don't believe that this is a phantom. I believe that this is a thing. I'm 100% sure that this is a thing. But how do I support myself while I pursue this thing? And I thought TikTok shop was it, and it might be, and this just may be a delay. This may just be a test of my faith. This may just be, because this is what Sharika said to me. She was like, nah, don't get upset. She was like, and she's, I love it. I'm being aligned with people that beyond they stuff. You know what I'm saying? She was like, this is just a challenge. The challenge is like, you gonna fold or you gonna rock this out. She said, if you fail this challenge, it ain't gonna do nothing but come back around again. And I was like, you so right. I say the exact same thing, but I call it cycles. Bashar says it's the universe. Sharika says it's a challenge. But regardless, it's going to come back around again. But we do have to determine, is this a challenge? And is this something that was designed for us to overcome so that we can grow and we can build some muscles and we could get some tools in our tool belts? Is that what this is? Or is this God saying, nah, this ain't for you? And I don't think it's that. But that's why my energy is fucked off. That's why I almost didn't show up. Because I said, I went to self-sabotage mode. We have to pay attention when we go into self-sabotage mode. And I say we because I know I'm not the only one. Things start going in a different direction than we want them to go. I'm not going to say they go bad for us, but things start going in a different direction than what we want them to go. And then we just quit on ourselves. And I get it. We're allowed to retreat and lick our wounds. And we're allowed to sit back and reflect. And we're allowed to have a moment of fucking silence and be sad about the thing that we had so much hope for fell through. We're allowed to do that. But we have to determine those times. We can't spend more time licking our wounds than we are pushing through. Because are they wounds? I could sit here and mourn the loss of, something like this. Something like this. I could mourn the loss of something like this. When on the other side, there's something like this. I got denied this because this is where I'm headed. But if I stop myself short here because I'm licking my wounds and I'm just like, fuck it, and I quit, I'll never achieve this. You know what I'm saying? But just what's disheartening, and I'll get off of this after this, what's disheartening about this is because I need an income. My home needs money. And this was going to be, boom, you know what I'm saying? This was so perfectly aligned for me. It literally is doing what I already do. It was so perfect. And so now it's just, okay, now what? All right, I want to talk about friendships. I was talking to a friend, and I noticed that something that has happened within our conversations is we both mention that we're okay with the ending of our relationship. And I think that's important to identify and to acknowledge that we both are okay with the ending of the relationship, but we're in saying we're okay with the ending of the relationship, we're acknowledging that we are taking in fully what we are experiencing in the time that we have together. So it's not as like we just automatically speak in death over our friendship. No, what we're saying is I understand in this new space that I exist in the realm of friendships, that they don't last forever, especially when they come in hot. When they come in real hot, a lot of burning hot connections are fizzle out really fast because you were brought together for a reason. You were brought together for a purpose. And so it's intense. And we think because it's intense, it's forever. No. What I'm identifying is the more intense the connection, the more short-lived it is. That is my experience. If I can look at our history, because we can figure things out if we just pay attention to our lives. And that's why I encourage people to journal. If you don't journal, I encourage you just to keep a mental Rolodex of feelings that you feel during certain situations. When you catch a win, how do you feel? How does your body feel? How does your mind think? What was your thought process when it led up to this win? Everything that went into you experiencing this win and you actually experiencing the win, document that. Pay attention to it. Why? Because everything leading up to your next win is going to look and feel the exact same. Everything leading up to your next win is going to look and feel the exact same. That way, when you're coming into something and that's for you, it feels. So this is what the confusion is with this TikTok shop. And this is why I'm not going to 100%, curl up in a ball and woe is my ass, because this feels like a win. Like adversity, not really excited about it, dragging my feet. All of these are pieces of when I catch wins. Whenever something good happens for me, I'm not excited about it. And it's not me not being excited. It's just saying, I don't think it's going to happen. And then it happens. But the things I'm like, yeah. And I noticed this in high school when I would take tests. I noticed this in high school when I would take tests. Whenever I took a test, and this is how I figured it out, I've always been in a classroom, but I didn't know I was in a classroom, but I would take tests and I would finish the test. I'm like, man, I aced that shit. And I'll get the test back and I got an F. I was like, man, I knew everything on that damn test and I failed it. But the times that I took tests, thank you for the love, guys. The times that I took tests and I was like, damn, I think I failed that. I get it back and I got an A. And that's when I made the connection. I was like, when I feel like I just killed some shit, I don't know. But the times where I'm just like, I don't know, it always goes through. Every time. Oh, I did good on that interview. I get the job. Damn, I killed that interview. Never hear back. I don't think I'm gonna get it. I get it. Man, boom, I'm already spending the money. Didn't get it. So I've noticed that trend within myself. So the way that I feel about this TikTok shop, beyond today's setback, I'm like, it feels like a win. It feels like a win. So I'm going to keep riding it. I'm going to get at my altar when I'm done with this live. Now that I put it into the universe, I'm going to do it. I'm not going to quit on myself. I'm going to get at this altar when I get off this live, and I just need to have a moment with my higher self. I need to have a moment with my ancestors. I need to have a moment with God, and I just need to, I need answers. I really need them. Because I think it was Bashar. I don't know. Can't cite my source with this one. But someone was saying your guardian angels, everyone has guardian angels, and they're right there. And they're just waiting to be acknowledged, and they're just waiting for you to ask for help. God damn it, I've been begging. I am begging, but I also know the energy behind begging is desperation, and the universe doesn't work in lack. So when I say that I'm begging, I'm not like, oh my God, dun, dun. I'm not begging in that respect. I'm like, yo, how do I need to ask? How do I need to phrase this need for help from you? You see everything that's going on. I need some goddamn help. Mom, your daughter needs some help. Grandpa, your granddaughter needs some help. Ancestors, you see what the fuck is going on. Guardian angels, God, all of you. Yes, I cuss when I talk to God. You do your relationship with God how you do your relationship with God. Me and God been rocking this long, and he doesn't seem to have a problem with my cuss words. So, boom. He probably got a problem with your infidelity more than he does with my curse words. So, boom. I'm just playing. I'm just saying you're doing something that is displeasing, like truly displeasing, truly dishonoring. I don't think God is losing his crap behind the fact that I use the word F when I'm talking. Like, yeah, that kills me when religious people are like, oh my God, you said a cuss word. Yeah, and what did you do in that back room over there? What do you really think God's mad at? Anyway, gotta filter myself so I don't get a violation. Anyway, so I'm like, I need help. I don't know how else to say it. I'm keeping my vibration high. I'm not woe is me. I'm not entertaining conversations that are talking about loss and lack. I'm not doing any of the things. I can acknowledge what's going on in my life. Like I said, I have been very open and transparent about this season because me and my husband are going through something that everybody goes through, but we're talking about it. I remember watching the housewife episode where they were talking about Eva's finances and, oh my God, they're renting their house and all this other stuff. So what? And why do we feel like we need to be in a position to pretend that we're buying? Why do we have to pretend anything? And if we are experiencing something, why can't we experience it in peace? Why must you judge me? Because sure as the sun rises and sure as the sun sets, you're going to experience something too. So why do you feel you're in the position to judge me for experiencing something? Just because my experience isn't your experience? Just because my experience is something that I'm experiencing that you have not experienced yet? So you feel you're in a position to judge me. So when I was watching that episode, of they're all gossiping about Eva's finances, I was like, why is that a whole episode of everybody gossiping about Eva's money? Why are y'all in that woman's pockets? That woman in her husband's pockets, and what should be happening in their household? Like, we don't even understand how trapped we are in what's glorified to us as a community, because that is what is held up and esteemed in our community as Black excellence. These celebrities and the debauchery that their lives are is what's esteemed and held up in our community as Black excellence. Gossiping, backbiting, fighting, violence, threatening each other, and, all these different things. Say it again. What you gonna do? I'm on the internet. I'll say it again. What you gonna do? Nothing. Block me? Okay. Like, we just do some of the most craziest stuff and we glorify it. We don't even understand the trap. That's the crazy thing. We don't even understand the trap. So, friendship. Talking to my friend, acknowledging that this friendship is burning really hot right now, and it's beautiful. And acknowledging that we both are okay with this relationship potentially ending one day. We have to be okay. We have to go. We don't have to. You do what you want to. But something that I have learned in being okay with relationships ending, and I'm going to go into an older story that I told before, but I told it from the perspective of this is what happened. Now I'm going to tell the story from the perspective of here's another lesson that I learned from this story. My daughter's always like, Mom, you don't have any new stories. Well, the fact that I'm repeating the same old story means I could derive another meaning from it. Like I said before, I can listen to the same Tupac song a second and third and fourth and a millionth time and hear something new. So I can tell the exact same story, and here's the next lesson that I'm deriving from it. I am sorry, my mouth is so dry. I'm not trying to sell my Tumblr, my sister support Tumblr, available at Lonnie Taylor Art. I got you, sis, really. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm really parched. I'm trying to get my hydration up. My sis told me I need to get some IV packs for my hydration, so I'm focused. Hey, Tax Pearl. And so I'm retelling the story. There's somebody that I met here on TikTok. To me, beautiful human. And our souls connected. This individual was one of my first teachers here on TikTok. I saw myself in them. We had a lot of similarities, and I was like, and this was when I was into timeline jumping and all that other stuff and parallel universes. I still am, but I'm not actively making the connection and those types of things. Anyway, and I was like, damn, I really believe you're me on another timeline. Like, this is weird, the commonalities. Like, my friend that I'm talking to now, I'm like, dude, you're me 20 years younger, because talking to you is talking to me, and this is some weird stuff. So I believe I have tapped into my tribe, i.e. I've tapped into people who think like I do, who not, we're not lemons. We're free thinkers, but we're free thinkers in the space that, I don't know, y'all know what we are. I can't even identify what we are. I told somebody I was talking to the other day, I was like, I really wish I could run across somebody who understands what the hell is going on with me so that I could put myself in a nice little box. Am I this? Am I this? ADHD, what am I? I don't know. Somebody tell me. But maybe I'm one and no one knows what I am. I'm uniquely me. And I define who I am. And I don't know how to define myself. And maybe I have no limitations. And I have ran across other people who have no limitations or are open to living their lives without limitations. Knowledge seekers, truth tellers, educators, that's who we are. That's what we do. We speak life. We give life. to everyone that comes in contact with us. No limitations. That's right, sis. So anyway, I meet this person. I'm like, this is crazy. We have so much in common. And I see how this relationship was my last friendship relationship of its kind. I can't just do one thing either, and I can't do it the same for too often. I cannot do anything the same for too often, or I get bored and I quit. I started doing my lives in my closet, and I was like, this is starting to feel like a job. So I started doing my lives on my bed. And I'm probably going to start doing my lives outside. I'm going to have to constantly switch it up in order for me to stay interested. But I also know that about myself. And am I going to use that as an excuse to quit on myself, which is my life lesson that I'm learning right now, to stay the course? Because a working theory that I have right now is if you stay the course through the urge or the tendency to quit, is it possible for you to push yourself into in spirit? So their spirit, their soul. Let me know if you're not familiar, Tax Pearl. I talk about it often. Their spirit, their soul. Yes, I've been searching for a while, friend. And spirit is inspiration, which means you have a really good idea. Spirit is your brain. Soul, reincarnation. Okay, boom. And I ain't even got to go into it. Soul is connected to your higher self, intuition. So inspiration is a great thought, and you're like, yeah, I'm about to do this. Soul is you tapped into your spirit, and you're being led. You know what I'm saying? My husband has tapped from inspiration. I'm going to work out because I want to walk around shirtless in Jamaica. So I'm going to work out. You always work out and you quit. You're saying it's because of Jamaica, but this man still work out every day, and we ain't been in Jamaica in over a month. He went from inspiration, and he was tapped into in spirit, which means his spirit and his soul, they align, and boom, now it's a lifestyle change. That's where true change comes from, when your spirit and your soul align, and boom, you're on fire. And so the working theory that I have right now is, if I do not quit on myself, is there a way for me to tap into in spirit? Is there a way to be inspired to film these lives every day? Okay, I'm over it. To keep going. Don't quit on yourself. Show up for yourself every day. Self-motivation, push through. It's cool if you got to go from the closet, go to the bed. It's cool if you got to go from the bed, go to the backyard. If it's cool, just keep going, keep pushing. Isn't it? If you push through to a point where, boom, inspiration meets spirit, and now you're in spirit. So my working theory is, can I continue to show up for myself and push myself into a lifestyle change? I think it's possible. I don't think it's quit, stop, or start, quit, inspired. I don't think it needs to be that. I think we delay our in spirit. You know what I'm saying? By quitting. So I could have trained myself, so because it's a training. I don't know. I'm going to leave it alone, but I think there's something there. Anyway, so this lady, we click, we come in hot. And like I was talking about relationships, usually when those relationships burn hot, they burn hot and they burn out fast. It's way too many distractions and way too many tendencies to quit on ourselves. If it doesn't work out, I have 2 people in this live, and I'm 100% thankful. And I love that you guys are talking to me. I have 2 people in this live. Sometimes I'm filming lives and there's 0 people in the live. Sometimes I'm filming lives and I have 0 likes. I'm filming lives and I'm just like, what the hell am I doing? I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. Am I doing this because I'm just doing it to do it, or am I doing this because I'm supposed to be doing this? You know what I'm saying? There's a difference between ego, pride. I'm doing this because I said I'm going to do it, so I'm going to do it. And now you're forcing yourself to do it. And then there's a difference between, I feel I'm supposed to be doing this. I feel I was told to do this, but why? There's two people, well, now there's four people, but there's two people in my life. And I have 0 likes, not dislikes, but you understand what I'm saying. Why am I doing this? And I remember Tabitha Brown saying in one of her interviews when I did my deep dive into her, the 30 minutes that I spent with Tabitha Brown, they were beautiful. I get interested in something and I'd be like all about it for like a couple hours, and then I'm like, oh, on to the next. So in the hour that I spent with Tab, she said Spirit told her to start doing lives. There's going to be thousands of people on your life. No, Spirit didn't tell me there's going to be thousands of people on my lives. Spirit just said start doing lives every day. And I'm like, all right. But she said she would sit and do these lives and she would look and she was like, God, where's the thousands of people? And he was like, I didn't say when you, or they were like, however you identify God, I didn't tell you as soon as you clicked on live, there was going to be 1,000 people. I just told you there's going to be thousands of people, but you got to figure out how often are you going to show up with yourself? How often are you going to keep the faith? How often are you going to believe what you feel is real is real? And thank you for the love, you guys. What you feel is real is real. And I feel I was told to go live every day. I feel that I've been told you need to work out. I feel that I was told stop quitting on yourself. So things that you would typically walk over, go back, pick it up, and put it where it belongs. You keep complaining about the way that you live, but you're not correcting the way that you live consistently, which is what Bailey has been preaching. Girl, thank you. Please share the live. Share the live. Consistently showing up for yourself. And that's something that Bailey has been telling me. Bailey has been one of my biggest teachers in this season, my 18-year-old. Because she's just like, I understand, Mom, but consistency, you're not being consistent. And I was like, I'm trying. And so she has been a big byproduct of me developing the stop quitting, because my kids they're not out of control in the respect that they're like bad kids. My kids aren't bad, but my kids need to learn respect. My kids need to learn proximity. My kids need to learn how to believe in themselves and develop self-love. I didn't know that I actually had to teach them self-love. I didn't know that I was teaching them to not love themselves. I didn't know that I was teaching my kids to doubt themselves. Yeah, when you say you can't get nothing right, you are now planting the seed telling your kid that they can't get nothing right. Why do you keep messing up? Why are you always messing up? Why won't you correct yourself? Well, damn, because you're speaking to them in the negative, now they're receiving that they can't. And so I had to wake up to the realization that I was doing that to my children. And now I got to walk that stuff back. But I have to be consistent. I have to be consistent in the things that are intentionally being shaped in my life, i.e., I am intentionally raising my children. I am intentionally being a wife to my spouse. I am intentionally controlling my energy. I'm intentionally controlling my thoughts. I'm intentionally. Because these are the things that are going to affect my day-to-day life. Filming these lives do not affect my day-to-day life. So now I have to consistently show up for this live, even though it is not doing anything for me. It's actually taking 3 hours of my life away. But it's also feeding me. I'm not going to lie. I don't ever want to get on this damn live, but then when I get on, it's like a phone call. When someone calls me and I'm looking at it, I was like, man, I don't want to answer this goddamn phone. But then when I answer the phone, it feeds my spirit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to click go live, but then when I go live, y'all feed my spirit. And so it is what it is. Back to my friend. Y'all know how I do. I go on a tangent, then I go back to my original point. So me and this lady, we just had a huge connection, and she taught me so much. She taught me as within, so without. She taught me just being around her and me watching her and me respecting her. if I respect you as an authority, if I respect you as a knowledge source, she taught me in that season. I'm not saying she taught me that, but in the season of knowing her, in the season of my leveling up, ascensions, that's the word. In that season of my ascensions, I had many, many ascensions while I was in contact with this individual. And in that season, I learned that everything is a classroom. Everything is teachable. No, it's not. Because I used to, and I've said this to my husband, and I'll say it to you guys. I used to think my husband was dumb. My husband's not dumb. Why would I be with a human that I think is dumb? Because there's people that I think are dumb and I don't associate with them. So I can actually check myself and realize that I don't think my husband's dumb, because I would not be with him. You know, when he talks, I don't sit there and roll my eyes like, this motherfucker's an idiot. No, none of that. It's the fact that the knowledge point that I value, my husband did not value the same knowledge point. During the season of friendship with this person, I realized that everyone has value and he just thinks differently than me. So I released my superiority complex, because I had one for a long time, because, you know, we don't think like everybody else, and we think, you know, we think next level. You know, we actually think. And so when people don't think, I would be like, damn, you're a dummy. But even in their non-thinking, they're teaching something if you're listening. And that's what I learned. I learned everything is a teacher. Everything. You talking to me right now, you know, Tax Pearl, you're teaching me something. You showing up on this live, you're teaching me something. So I can choose to have my superiority, and I would miss all of this. I wouldn't have any gratitude. I wouldn't know how to give thanks. So I learned so much in this season. Let me read this. It is you said something the other day about not fearing what people have to say on social media. Man, y'all always be preaching back to me. Yes, I am working. I'm doing beautifully. Somebody called me delusional, and I was like, you're right. You should probably ignore me. Like, I was so proud of myself. I almost hopped in my little chat with my friend. I was like, girl, you gonna be so proud of me. I think I have overcome caring what people say about me on social media. I think I'm here. Because every time, hey, how you doing? Brand new. I like brand new. Dun, 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 unless it's brand new. I can't get the song, but how you doing? You know, I think I just leveled up. And so I'm really excited about that. But anyway, the whole reason why I want to bring this friendship up is because we ran into a speed bump. We ran what should have been a speed bump, but it turned into something bigger. I did something where this person asked me a question. They asked me if something was wrong. And I was like, no, nothing's wrong. And they were like, well, I believe something's wrong. And I was like, well, shoot, because I respected this person and their spiritual connection. You know, I tend to put people on pedestals, and I need to recognize that. I have always put people that I respect on pedestals, and they walk on water. I don't do that anymore. I acknowledge, I respect you for this aspect. You walk on water in this space that you are feeding my soul. Oh my God, you are the best. And I'm going to give you your flowers. So when people are like, man, you're always saying people's names, I'm giving them their flowers. We're so used to being ignored. We're so used to other people, you know, stealing our ideas and regurgitating them as their own. We're so used to not being respected. I respect everybody. You know what I'm saying? So if Brand New gives me something, I'm like, I was talking to Brand New the other day and bloop, bloop, bloop. If, you know, Tax Pearl says something, Tax Pearl, you giving me something in this live, and I'm going to shout you out and I'm going to let you know. I'm always going to shout this community out, because this community fuels me. When I say you guys feed me, and I hope I'm feeding you back. This is the good side of the internet. It's what we're supposed to do. Can I just call you Pearl? You know, that's what we're supposed to. We're supposed to gas each other up. If we go through a day and there's only one person that we may encounter, thank you, and there's one person that we see, let me finish this thought and I'm going to say something that brand new. If there's one person that we encounter in our day that's going to gas us, we're only going to get gassed once, right? But how many of us have those people? I am committed to gassing my children up. Mostly my boys, the gas looks different. So when I'm gassing Bailey, it's going to look different than I'm gassing Michael. So it's going to look different, but I'm going to gas them. So I'm like, oh, shoot, go ahead with my sons because they're little. With Bailey, she was like, she wants to buy this sports equipment. And she was like, is there a place to put it? I was like, I don't think there is, but do you know of a place? So my way of gassing my 18-year-old up is, if you can find a solution to this, then you got it. It's yours. I support you. So that's a great idea. You know what I'm saying? And so if we all committed just to gassing each other up, everywhere you go, hey sis, okay, do that, instead of, you don't know how many black people I walk by and they don't speak, they don't look, they don't smile, they divert their eyes so they don't got to acknowledge each other. Yeah. And then people in general, because it's not just a black thing, but I'm going to talk to my community first. I'm going to talk to my peers first. So if we committed to just gassing people up, you did a great job. I just posted a video where Michael got an A+ on his little spelling test. And I say little not out of disrespect. I just say little. But he got an A+ on his spelling test. And I'm like, okay, do that. Because he studied for it. This was his first spelling test. And I did like my dad used to do with me, and he did his work. And then I'm so proud of myself in that, because teaching my kids anything, I have always expressed frustration. But, I'm learning how to teach my kids things, and I'm learning how to allow them the space to learn, because the learning is going to come from the joy of learning, not from me stressing you the hell out, standing over your shoulder like, why can't you get it? You just had A a second ago. You don't know A now? Like, I used to be bad, y'all, but that's the way my dad was with me. And I'm not saying it's his fault. I'm saying that's how I was taught to teach. But I can go into a classroom, because I'm a teacher by trade, but I could go into a classroom and I could have all the patience in the world. But then I listen to other parents and say, I could teach everybody else's kids, but I can't teach my own. I was like, me too. So now I feel justified. I feel justified in not seeking growth for myself. I feel justified in tearing my own children down because everybody else does it. It's that group think. If we can find somebody to tell us that we're okay in doing whatever the hell we're doing, then we will continue doing whatever the hell we're doing. And that's why I was saying standing up to injustice. And that's why I said the white community is in charge of ending racism. Black people can't do nothing about it. Black people can stand beside you. You know how y'all be standing beside us in support of us? We can stand beside you in support of you. But we cannot end racism because we are not the racists. We cannot stop your thing. You have to stop your thing. We can tell you how. We could give you all the tips and tricks because we have been oppressed and we have been subjected to your racism our entire existence. So we can tell you how to stop it, but you have to implement it. And so for that, I don't want to say anything else anymore because I don't want to get a community guideline violation. But for that community to say anything besides you guys. No, it's you. You have the race. You have the relatives that need to be redirected. And if everybody came together and said, yo, if you continue to think this way, if you continue to act this way, I'm disassociating myself. If the whole friend group was like, hey, Billy, that's not cool. We don't appreciate you talking like that. And Billy's going to be like, come on, guys, come on. I can say what I want to. And everybody's like, no, we good, Billy, if that's the way you're going to act. There's 5 people in the friend group. Billy's the problem. If the other 4 people are like, no, that's not good. Billy's going to stop being an asshole because Billy's not getting the attention for being an asshole. Yeah. Tell me how to stop bullying you. I could actually tell you how to stop bullying you, but I can't make you stop bullying me. You have to stop. I could give you all the tips. Stop calling me this. Stop touching me and hitting me and stop doing all these things. These are all the ways that you can stop bullying me. but you have to stop. So that is the wake-up call that community needs to have, that they have to stand against it. And that is the wake-up call that our community has to have. Do you know how many of our communities are plagued with violence? We only care about mass, because it's seeped outside of the hood. They've been in schools. Oh yeah, brand new? Yes. I showed up today. I wasn't going to show up today because I got kicked earlier. Life kicked me while I'm down. And I was like, fuck it, I'm done. So for you to say that you missed me during my ban, I'm so happy I showed up because I showed up for you. So I'm so thankful that you let me know that you appreciate that I showed up. That's how you give people their flowers. And I thank you. Thank you. Anyway, so we have, all these things have been happening at schools. All these things have been happening, but no one cared because it was within our community. But now it's seeping out of our community, and it ain't even got nothing to do with us. They just cultivated violence within our community, so we could take each other out. These motherfuckers are losing their minds. They're trying, the supremacy stuff is just warping their brains, but that's not this conversation. But guaranteed, those homes, somebody knows. Guaranteed. We went through a season, and I talked about this yesterday. I went through a season where I was like, everybody sleeping with their doors locked? Because we don't know what Angel's going to do. We can't get rid of Angel. So how can we protect ourselves from this potential? So if Angel ever went and acted out publicly, I wouldn't have been surprised. So now I'm locking up things and I'm doing all these things and all this different stuff. And I'm going to speak openly about this because we know if you have a troubled human in your home, you know. And if you know that troubled human can potentially go out and hurt others, you knew. You need to stand up to that. You don't unleash your child. You don't unleash your human out into the world. Somebody is married to somebody who's about to do some stuff and they know. Somebody is raising someone who is about to go do some stuff and they know. But you're not checking it. You're just, I don't know what you're doing. For me, I was just locking up everything. I was just praying. And I finally had to break through to help pull my child out of that space. And if you're listening to this content, listen to this content because it's possible for you to pull yourself. It's possible to pull your child. It's possible to pull whoever you're in contact with and you see them on some shit to pull them out of it. But we must stand together against injustice. And that is what happened on that pier in Montgomery. Everybody's like, that's old news. It's old news if you're looking at it topically. But if you were looking at life as lessons, we can learn from that Montgomery pier for the rest of our lives. And those people, regardless of motivation, were standing up to injustice. And they finally were in a space where they could. Yeah, the popos showed up and did what the popos do. But for a brief second, them Black men and women were in a position to stand up against systemic injustice. I'm not going to say the R word because I don't want to get blocked, but they stood up and they stood together. And that's what we got to do in our friend groups. That guy who was sitting in his car eating chicken talking about, yeah, I was at the club with my friend and he was trying to holler at another girl. And I was like, nah, dude, that ain't cool. He called his friend out. My husband has a friend who was cheating on his wife and he would call my husband and try to tell my husband, man, let me tell you what I did the other night. My husband was like, I don't want to hear that. I don't. Your wife don't deserve that. If you want to go find somebody that you want to have your, high five moment with, it's not going to be me. That's how you be a friend. That's how you're loyal. You're loyal to stopping your friend, your family member, your child, your spouse. You are loyal by stopping them from doing dumb stuff. And I'm not just saying something extreme. Something as simple as cheating. And I'm not saying that's simple, but when I say extreme, I mean going up to a public place and doing some dumb stuff. That's what I mean extreme. The pendulum that I always talk about. Are we here or are we waiting until something extreme happens? We need to stop stuff here. If you have a racist friend who is saying, sorry, I said the word, I hope it doesn't get me banned, because they say we could talk about these things, but we can't encourage violence or anything like that. I have never encouraged violence, but I have been violated for just saying the word. And there's not a human on the other side of those violations to say, oh, she's just talking about how to prevent it. She's not encouraging it. She's trying to stop it. Let's take this violation away. No. So I'm going to try not to say the words, period. Can y'all tell I'm pissed? It's not old news. It will always be perpetual until the bullies check themselves. Yep. Until we all check ourselves. They say we are free, but that's the biggest lie. It's the biggest lie. Even the people who think they're free aren't free. They just are allowed more freedoms. Money is freedom in this society, period. I don't care. There may be some more revelations. As I get some money, I may realize that this free don't look like the free that I thought it would be. But Jay-Z could do a whole lot with his black skin that I can't do. What bought his freedom? Money. You know, Donald Trump can do a whole lot more than Bob, the guy working at the gas station. Why? Money. So money is freedom in this world, not just this country, in this world. Which is just how we as a people, if we realize how powerful we were, and that's kind of why I'm fearful with my messages, because I'm speaking truth, I'm speaking light, I'm speaking power. And if we realized on a large scale how powerful we were, this entire structure would fall. Because we will realize that this worship of money is sustained because of our worship of money. But if we give money value, we give things value. If we realize that we don't need that and this and this and that to know who the fuck we are, we know who the fuck we are just because we know who the fuck we are, sitting in this, unironed Nipsey Hussle t-shirt with my purple sky knits hat on. See, they need to let me in the TikTok shop. I'ma sell some stuff. My purple sky knits hat, custom hat on. Yes. I know who the fuck I am. I don't have to be Gucci down to the socks. I know who I am in my current financial state. So if I know who I am in my current financial state, I don't need money to know who I am. But there's too many of us who think they need this outside world. And this is something that this friend taught me. As within, so without. I must know who I am inside in order to cut myself off from what's out. I don't need validation from here because I have it here. But also, I understand that I am subject to groupthink as well. I'm part of the collective. I'm a part of this community. So disconnecting from the community or the collective is not the answer. It's creating the community and the collective that aligns with you and uplifts you. Before this TikTok experience, I didn't have anyone to feed into my soul. I didn't have anyone to bounce ideas off of. These things that I say, people would look at me and be like, what the hell are you talking about? And I felt so alone. That is such a pretty bird. Do y'all see it? Oh, it flew away because I moved. I need to put some food on my little... I bought this big ass bag of bird seed. And I put it out there and they ate that shit in a day. They figured out how to manipulate the bird seed. And it was a black bird too. I don't know, but I know. I don't know, but I know. But it was a black bird that figured out how to manipulate my bird feeder, and I'm just gonna say black excellence. Because that motherfucker figured out, and it was a big one too, because the little ledge is this big, right? The little ledge is this big. That motherfucker figured out how to flap one wing and fly around and still figure out how to get, I got video, I may have deleted it, but he figured out how to flap one wing and fly around and get the food off of it. And then other birds watched the black excellence, and they was like, oh, that's how you rig it. You know how we know how to rig things. We gonna figure it out. You could block us every which way. They thought that they was keeping us down by oppressing us and blocking us and putting obstacles in our way. No, you just made us learn how to persevere, because you make everything easy for you. And this is not us versus them. This is, let's look at this thing. They get so offended when you talk about how their adversities actually helped us. And because their adversities actually helped us and how they did not help them, somehow I'm a hater. Somehow I'm one of those people that Melissa called me. No, I'm not one of those people you called me Melissa. Because if you actually woke up to what you were doing, you would realize in your attempt to oppress us, you're actually empowering us, because what we gonna do regardless, or we gonna figure out a workaround. They used to call it nigga rigging when I was a kid. Jimmy rigging, but we called it nigga rigging, because if it's broken, but we need it, we gonna figure out how to use it. You know what I'm saying? And I watched it with those birds. That's why I said everything is a lesson. And I made the connection that it was a black bird that did it. A black bird figured out how to beat the system. The system tried to oppress it. The system said, I'm only gonna put a ledge this big so the little, cute little sparrows can eat here. I don't want your big ass over here. I don't want your black ass over here. I'm gonna let the little cute birds eat first. Y'all get the crumbs on the floor, because you're too big. But this big motherfucker was like, nah, this ain't what we about to do. I'm about to figure this thing out. And he got his seeds. And they emptied that goddamn bird feeder in a day. I was like, look, I'm only filling that thing up once a week. And then I just stopped filling it up. And so I got a big ass bag of bird seed that I need to go feed that. And then I just saw that pretty ass bird. I was like, oh, we got birds like that in Arizona in my backyard? I must put seed in there because I must see you. So I'm depriving myself by trying to limit others. I don't want the birds to just beast my seed, but in their beasting, there might actually be something beautiful for me to see there. So am I willing to deprive myself of the beauty of life simply because I want to keep something from someone else? There's a lesson there. Hey, birds. Everything's teaching all the time. And so, yeah, by oppressing us, you only empowered us, because now we know how to work around. And by making everything easy for yours, y'all know how to work with nothing. Y'all ain't got no damn life skills. Oh my God, that's why you're losing your fucking mind, because you're finally running into a roadblock and you don't know what to do. So your response is just to go, everybody. Fucking dummies. Go ahead and community guideline me for that one, because y'all some dumb. They don't know how to work through adversity because they've never had adversity. And this life is getting real adverse on purpose. I don't know why anyone is disillusioned to think that it's a black versus white. We are in a class system right now. It's the have and the have-nots. And they are stretching it more to the have-nots. Every day, it's the have-nots. You know, I was watching this documentary. I wasn't watching, I clicked on it. And I was like, I understand what this is, so I'm going to click off of it. It was a trending documentary on Netflix that was talking about, you know, salmonella and bacteria and all this stuff that's in our fruits and vegetables, you know. But remember, a couple years back, it was all about the meat, and the meat's killing us. All the meat's killing us. And now that everybody's going vegan, oh, watch out for those fruits and vegetables. They're going to kill you. And I was like, no, you're just trying to sway the market. You know, oh, they're doing all these things and injecting all these hormones into our meat, you know, buy organic, And now they're literally spraying our fruits and vegetables with stuff where apple will stay an apple until you eat it. Like, nothing is safe to eat. Nothing is safe. They're going to, if we find an alternative, they're going to attack the alternative too. So when you sit here, you think, oh, it's black versus white. We need to figure that stuff out because we need to band together because it's us versus them. And them is the 1%. It's them is the ones who have the power. That's who we need to be fighting against, not each other. We need to be fighting against the people who are fucking with our food. The people who are creating the systems to where our kids cannot go to school and be safe. It ain't got nothing to do with the tools that these people choose to use. It has everything to do with the world that the powers that be are allowing to be created. It has everything to do with the creator like me who is being oppressed and repressed, and my content isn't doing what my content should be doing. My content does what my content does because of you guys. Because sis got in here and was like, guys, make sure you share the live because you guys are doing the hearts and you're doing all those things and you're keeping this community going. Not the platform. The platform is trying to hold me down as much as they can. Because this is the message that's going to just change the tide of the way that this world is going. These are the messages. And it's not supported. But that's cool because Spirit keeps telling me to show up. Spirit keeps telling me not to give up on myself. And I know I'm talking about myself, but those of you who know pull and derive meaning for you, how can you show up for yourself? Like Coco said earlier, you talking to me. Hell yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm talking about me, but I'm talking to you. There's healing for all of us. There's messages for all of us. Damn it, I just gave a whole sermon about some goddamn birds. There's something for all of us. It is funny, they get a head start but still lose. Ain't that because they ain't got no workable skills. They don't have any workable skills. The only reason why that they are the elite is because they literally take out any competition. It's the barbarism for me. I don't know if I said the word right, but anyway. So me and this friend had a conversation. They asked me what's wrong. I said, nothing's wrong. And they're like, well, I believe something's wrong. And because I admired this person, I was like, well, maybe they're sensing something that I don't know. Let me dig deeper. I was like, well, maybe it was this. And so this person then turned around and said, well, you said nothing's wrong. And then a couple blah, blah, blah later, you said something was wrong. So then you lied. And I said, I didn't lie. You just challenged me to tell me that when I said nothing's wrong, you wouldn't receive that. So I was like, well, let me find something wrong. Like, I felt like, you know how we be doing our spouses and our kids where they're like, you did it. And you're like, I didn't. Yes, you did. Well, maybe I did. I don't know. And then you kind of bully them into a confession like the police do. You know, so that's what I felt. I felt like, well, damn, maybe there is something wrong. So I went and found something wrong. And now that I went and found something wrong to satisfy that, now you're mad at me because I didn't say there was something wrong in the beginning because there wasn't. I actually had to go find something. And so because of that, I guess I did it twice. Because twice you bullied me into finding something wrong. And I allowed it because I respected your spiritual journey and the fact that I believe, yeah, it is our power. I allowed you to do that to me because I believed that you were more spiritually advanced than I. So you had some sort of spiritual connectivity above what I had. And because I believed that, because I thought that there was levels to spirituality, but there is levels to spirituality, but it's really just the same thing. When I read this book, what's the best that can happen? Available at LoneeTaylorArt.com or Amazon. Just make sure the seller is Lonee Taylor. When I started rereading this book, I was like, damn, I'm talking about that now. I'm talking about that now. But the language is different. The understanding is different. So it's not that anything new is under the sun. It's 100 ways to skin a cat. So I thought at that time that there was levels to spirituality. Like, you're in a space of awakening, so you see something that I don't. And to a degree, there's truth there. There's a friend of mine that I'm talking to, and they're like, I'm reading the 4 agreements, and I told myself that I'm going to apply the principles. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at them like, good job, friend. I remember when I did that. Because now I'm looking at them and I'm just like, I see where you're at in your journey, and I'm excited for you. But the same thing with Bailey. Bailey, you know, she's only 18 and I'm 42. But I told her, I was like, Bailey, you are light years ahead of me in this. Remember, even though I'm older than you, I had to come from a deficit, kind of like our community. Even though I'm older than you, I had to come from way back here to get where I'm at. You're younger than me, but you had to come from here. So even though I'm older than you, and you would assume that I should be ahead of you, I had more of a deficit to overcome than you. Which means, even though you're younger than me, you're light years ahead of me. And so when she's looking at me and like, your mom, you're the parent, you should know better. Why should I know? Who taught me? You're teaching me. You're the one that brought me into this space by telling me the way that I was raising my kids was wrong. You ushered in this awakening. What am I supposed to do next, teacher? You know, instead of looking at me for not having all the answers, you tell me what's next. And so, you know, hold on. It's like that take 2 steps forward video. Was that my video? Are you quoting me back to me? Y'all should do the well not do it, but it puts things into perspective. You should do that. What video? Is it my video or was it somebody else's video? If it's somebody else's video, send it to me. If it's my video, no, it's this video. Well, tag me on the damn video so I know what you're talking about, because I'll do it. I'm not above incorporating any type of thing that'll help progress this family forward. So anyway, you know, my daughter's always like, you should know better. Dre's like, it's common sense. I was like, it's your common sense. That's why I was like, my husband's not dumb, because I have 0 common sense. I always be out here doing dumb stuff, and he'd be like, I was like, well, if you knew better. Like, I just came to the realization where I was like, I remember watching that Kanye West documentary, and I listened to Donda West say, yeah, Kanye, of course, Kanye. Where are we going, Kanye? I was like, why the hell does she keep saying that boy's name or that man's name? I was like, she's speaking over that man, and I don't know what she's doing, but she's doing something. Like, watch that Kanye West documentary and watch that Donda West and Kanye interact. It is like a student sitting in front of a teacher every time she spoke to him. And she spoke life into him when she spoke to him. And I picked that up because I'm trying to figure out that Kanye West. I admire him. I don't admire the spirit. I admire the soul. And the soul that incarnated into Kanye West, that's a powerful soul. And I'm studying it because I'm just like, Kanye never gave up on himself. Kanye was driving around in that bucket on that goddamn spare tire before he jumped into his G-Wagon paying $10,000 a month, which was stupid. But it's the fact that Kanye West owns how many acres in California now? You know, owns all these different things, and it's not about money. But what I'm saying is Kanye West went from that bucket to what he's doing, and he did all of that because he never quit on himself. And then he caught enough wins to where he started believing in himself. He got that wind under his wings and he started flying. And that's why when my friend was like, you know, my family always talks about you got to catch wins. That's one of my theories too. The reason why they keep us oppressed, because if we could just catch a win, we will realize how powerful we are. I am here today because that Black Girl Follow Train gave me a win. That Black Girl Follow train took me from 9 followers to 100 followers, took me to 1,000 followers, took me to 10,000 followers. Now it has me at 11,000 followers. I'm not going to say that the Black Girl Follow train is still giving me the inertia today, but the Black Girl Follow train definitely put me on. The Black Girl Follow train put some wings beneath my wings, some wind beneath my wings. And I'm like, maybe I can do this. It gave me a win. So that's why you give people their flowers. That's why you look to compliment somebody any way you can, because you are potentially their win. And you potentially are the win that they need beneath their wings to believe that they can fly. Because we all have potential to fly. We all have potential to be great. It's us believing in our greatness and tapping into our greatness. And when we tap into that, we soaring, y'all, like eagles. You should test your daughter with things she don't know and then say you should know better. I'm telling you. Teach her timing, experiences, and levels play a big part in what you know and don't know. I did. Yesterday, she was giving me flack. It's always the kids. It's always the kids because the kids are always eating her food and all these different things. And Mom, you need to control them. I'm like, I'm trying to figure it out. But unless I sit in the goddamn living room and monitor the refrigerator, I've put locks on the refrigerator. They done figured out the combinations. You know, they done found the keys. They hide the lock. They do all these different things. And, you know, I'm like, unless I sit here, all I can do is redirect and correct consistently. Consistency. Redirect and correct. Redirect and correct. And I'm committed to redirecting and correcting now. I wasn't before, but I was like, Bailey, I've only been doing this for 4 days. However long this week is. Today is Friday. I've only been doing this for 5 days. I was like, instead of focusing on the 5 days that things have been going right, you want to focus on the X amount of years things have been going wrong. But you won't notice or acknowledge. I was like, you won't give me my flowers. I was like, you refuse to give me my flowers, because when I say I've been doing this for 4 days, because yesterday was a conversation, I've been doing this for 4 days, and then she's like, well, she attaches to something else. I was like, I can't catch a win with you. She's like, well, what am I supposed to say with you? Give me my damn flowers. Say, Mom, I see the efforts you're making. I see that the house isn't a mess. I see that you're correcting the boys. I see that because, look, they ate her. She buys these little apple things with the caramel dip. Caden, there's a pack of 5. Caden ate 4. And I was just like, I text Bailey. And I was like, yo, Caden ate your apple slices. Buy some more because she works at a grocery store. And I was like, you can't even acknowledge that in the past, Caden would have ate your stuff and Caden would have just ate your stuff. But now Caden ate your stuff and I notified you. So you're in a position to correct it and replace it. And she had my food card. Yes, I get food stamps. I do, because that's where we are financially and I'm not ashamed of it. I'm feeding my babies. You judge yourself. She had the food card. So I was just like, she don't even have to spend her own money. You got the card. Replace it. You know, but she's yelling at me. He shouldn't have ate it in the first place. Can you please celebrate the fact that I at least put a control in place. I saw he did something and I gave you a heads up. Nah, I can't catch that one. So whenever I redirect her, she just smiles. There's nothing wrong with it. I hate how people try to shame people who are just trying to live. It's so stupid and we really don't even understand, because it's all that money. For the love of money. Got to get that money, man. You know what I'm saying? But thank God there's a system in place, because there's not a system in place in Jamaica, but they got community in Jamaica. They told me in Jamaica they don't have welfare. What they have is each other. They got it. They got it in Jamaica. The only problem is they don't have it. Ain't no glass ceiling in Jamaica. It's a full-on concrete. You're going to bump your head and knock yourself out. And the harder you try, you're going to kill yourself and bust your head open, because this ceiling ain't moving. Their only limitations over there are circumstantial, because they know they could fly over there. And that's how I came back to America. And I was like, I can fly too. For the love of money, teach her timing. Oh yeah, I'm working with her, Pearl. I'm working with her. She, she's egotistical, but she's open to learn. So whenever I come to her with a message, she's like, and she does her smile, which lets me know. She was like, but you're not working with the kids. And I was like, I am. The only thing is I broke through to you first. Trinity told me not to use the word break, but I broke through to her first. Why was I able to break through to Bailey first? Because Bailey's the one that came to me. So once I woke up, once she broke through to me, I'm now aware of the areas that she needs to work on because I transferred everything that I need to break myself from. I must now break Bailey from because I created a clone. Yeah, she's me. She's not mini me because she's mini me. She really walks, talks, and thinks like me. People say we look alike. So I could break through to her because she was already open to evolution. She just needed to know what she needed to evolve. And then I worked on Dre because he's my partner in this. The way that you speak to these kids cannot contradict how I speak to the kids. So we have to get on the same page. And I'm not going backwards. I'm never going backwards. And that's why I made the video like I might get a divorce because I'm not going backwards. If my husband's not willing to move forward, and as Pearl said, everybody's progression and movement is at their own pace, but if you're not willing to move forward, our family can't keep going like this. You know what I'm saying? At some point, we're going to break apart, and that's just the reality of it. And that's why when I say I'm okay with my friends, acknowledging that this may be a short-lived relationship. We don't need to try to make a lifetime out of a moment. Let's appreciate this fucking moment and live in it. That's the meaning of life. And so after I broke through the Dre, now I'm working on Angel. She's like, well, move faster. I'm like, you can't give me no fucking flowers. Sorry, you can't give me no freaking flowers for working on the girl. Like, me and Angel had a beautiful day yesterday. We had so much communication yesterday. She opened up to me in ways that she's never opened up to me before. She got banned on TikTok because I guess they looked at the profile stuff that she's posting, and they looked at her age, and they were like, okay, this face doesn't match the age, so we're banning your account. And so in the past, look, I'm going to tell that story, but I'm going to read these comments real quick. I gotta go, but much love, and you on one. I'm telling you, you should save these lives and upload them. I do. I upload them to YouTube. Yeah, I do need to do my favorite snippets. I'll do my favorite snippets here so that I can make people aware that I'm doing these lives. You always got some great ideas, Coco. Thank you for agreeing, Pearl. I think she's right too, sis. Should I apply even if I got it? Cause that $10 used to be helpful. No shame. Man, I'm telling you, I don't care if it's $50. That's $50 that you can put in your pot and take care of your bills and not have to worry about these overpriced food items. It's nothing wrong with that. It's our money anyway. It's just agencies in the middle of it. I see it. So boom. Y'all supporting me by paying your taxes, and I appreciate it. But yeah, they banned Angel on TikTok. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. We're up to 9K likes. We have 7 shares, and we are consistently at viewers. Thank you so much. Her TikTok got banned, and look, she needed me. I'm not illusioned or disillusioned to the fact that she needed something from me. What I am highly impressed by is how she got it from me. Because she wouldn't have went this way. She spoke with confidence. She's like, man, mom, and it didn't sound like a manipulation because I know when I know when these kids are trying to manipulate me. You know when your kids are trying to manipulate you, right? And she's like, man, they banned my TikTok account. And I was like, the old mom response was like, well, you never asked me to get TikTok in the first place. So it sucks for you. That was my I told you so response. We have to expand our vision to understand that I told you so isn't just verbally saying I told you so. I told you so is, damn, guess you got to figure that out. Not offering any help or any guidance is essentially saying I told you so. So the old Lonnie response, every moment is a chance to get better. That's why I'm not in competition with anybody. I'm not even in competition with my yesterday. I'm getting better moment to moment. There's no competition anywhere. I'm just committed to getting better. I'm not competing. I'm just getting better, period. But I can look back at myself and see. That makes sense to who it needs to make sense to. I can see my growth by looking at my history, but I don't need to compare my present to my history to compete. It just is. And so old Lonnie would have been like, damn, you never asked me to have a TikTok in the first place. So it was good while it lasted. Appreciate what you had while you had it, because you were taking advantage of something that you shouldn't have had access to in the first place anyway. You used deception to create the account. All these different teaching points that I could have made to justify her, not having her account. But I was like, damn, that sucks, because I started thinking about all the time and effort she put into her TikTok account. Like, she makes her own content and she does all those things, and she makes her little video edits. Like, I spent hours. Sometimes I spent hours editing one video for 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And so I know, and maybe that's the piece where I have compassion now, because I was like, I know what goes into these TikTok pages. I'm sorry, sis. And then she was like, man, I curated my For You page to look perfectly. And I used the word curated. She just said my page. Have YM? Is that something else? Tell me what that is. But she's like, my For You page was perfect and everything. And I was like, yeah, I didn't know that was a thing, but I'm sorry. And she was like, and she paused. And she was like, can you take a picture of you holding your ID for me so that I can reclaim my page? I was like, sure, I don't have a problem doing that. I can support you, because now I'm realizing, instead of telling Angel she needs to stop being a kid, instead of me treating Angel like a kid until she shows me she can handle more responsibility, I need to give her more responsibility so she stops acting like a kid. Release control to gain control. So instead of trying to, I told you so her, help her do what she's trying to do, because she's not doing nothing wrong. She's just on her little TikTok making her little edits. And I'm sure, I hear cuss words every now and then, and she always talking about Ice Spice, and I don't think there's anything positive going on with any of these female rappers. I don't know Ice Spice, but she ain't saying Rhapsody. Rhapsody seems like a wholesome rapper. Ice Spice just doesn't seem like someone my 11-year-old should be listening to, but she's all over her For You page. What you gonna do? So I assisted her in that, and I was like, this was a big moment for us. This was a big moment for us because she expressed vulnerability. She needed me, and I showed up for her. And I showed up for her in a way that in the past, the very recent past, I would not have shown up for her. I would have reprimanded her or, made it a whole nother I told you so teachable moment. And so that did so much for our relationship, because that unlocked another level of trust between us. And so when Bailey's sitting there and complaining about Angel, because she complained about all my kids, that's all Bailey, my kid complains about my kids. Anybody else's kids complain about the other kids? To you? So, while Bailey's complaining about Angel, I'm just like, man, if you saw the day that me and Angel, I have 4 children, yes. I have an 18-year-old, 2 girls, 2 boys. I have an 18-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And so, another amazing moment that happened between me and Angel is we're writing this story together. And initially it came across as a punishment. Instead of having her go do something non-value add, I'm going to have her write a story. So at least at the end of this punishment, she has something that she can reflect on and be proud of, no matter how it came about. But I realized if I want her to be excited about this and do the work that she needs to do, then I need her to have a positive outlook about this, especially if I'm trying to foster a love of creativity and a love of writing, because she does write. She comes to me all the time. She's like, Mom, can I read you my story? But when I was like, you're going to have to write me a story for your punishment, she's like, I don't even like writing. I was just like, you just want to be the moody teenager, the moody preteen so bad. You literally come to me all the time, but I never finish them. Okay, so now we're going to write together. I never finish a story either. So if you write some and I write some, then together, damn it, we're going to finish the story. But yesterday I had ran into the conflict of Angel rewrote my stuff. And I received it because I was looking to be offended, and we need not to look to be offended by each other, right? I was looking to be offended. And so when she rewrote it, I felt it as she was like, you rewrote my stuff, so I'm about to write your stuff. And a friend of mine was just saying, maybe she rewrote it because XYZ. And I'm like, she ain't even trying. And she's like, maybe she tried her best. And you looked at what she did and you said, you ain't even trying. So you pretty much just stepped on her best effort. How do you know what her best effort is? You've been looking at her writing this whole time thinking she need help with her writing. But just because you guys are writing together, you're all of a sudden going to identify the exact same thing that you knew was a deficit for her as now she's just not trying. No, this is her skill level. You have to find a way to level her up. And I wasn't doing that in the beginning. I was tearing her down because I'm very assertive, matter of fact with the way that I speak. And so yesterday when she got home, I was like, hey, I really want you to get excited about this. And I keep pointing out to her the possibilities. I was like, after we finish writing this book, you're always looking for a form of income. Like, what can I do to make money? Can I do chores to make money? Can I walk dogs to make money? Can I bake cookies and sell them to the neighbors to make money? All these different ways you want to make money. If you write this book, I will publish it for you. And this can be an income for you for the rest of your life. So I need you to get excited about this. And I need for us to work together. And so we sat down and we had a conversation, and she spoke her piece and I spoke my piece. And for the first time, we actually had a conversation about it. It wasn't mom dictating. It was, okay, what do we need to do to be on the same page? What are the agreements that we need to make to work together? How can I release control to gain control? How can I give you what you want in order to get what I want? One of my sayings is, true selfishness is selflessness. T-shirt is available at LoneeTaylorArt.com. In order to get what I want, selfish, I got to give her what she wants, selfless. So what do you need? And she told me what she needed. And so that's two very impactful conversations that we had yesterday, that are conversations that she would have shut down in the past before, because she's trained in the headspace of being the child who's always being talked down to, dictated to. And I'm trying to take her out of that space of shutting down and actually having a voice and having a conversation. Me and Bailey have conversations. She doesn't get in trouble. Even when she's getting in trouble, I'm not like, oh, no. I'm like, Bailey, what in the world? What's going on? And we can sit and laugh and tell jokes while she's being redirected. Being redirection and correction doesn't have to be punitive. No, redirection and question, we feel like we got to make somebody, we feel like we got to break. I can use this word now. We feel like we got to break somebody's spirit in order for them to learn a lesson. No, I can learn from the easy stuff too. I can learn from the hard stuff, and I don't have to be broken down to learn my lesson. So why do we feel like we must break our children in order for them to learn a lesson? Why do we got to say most of the most reckless stuff to our kids? If we heard someone, just record yourself. If we heard someone talking to our children the way that we talk to our children, we'd be ready to knuck if you buck. But it's okay for us to talk to our children because we feel like we're helping them. But how are we helping them? By breaking them. I think what's on the other side of the break is helping them. So there is some good that's being done. Bailey is a phenomenal human, and I know that I created that. But I also broke her. And so now she has trauma that she has to work through. Now she has self-love things that she has to work through. Now she's out here, now experiencing friendships, and now she's experiencing relationships. And she's like, okay, how do I navigate this? You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of the stuff that she allows into her life is because of the deficits that I left, i.e. I did not transfer the information because I didn't know to transfer it, but I do now. Or the deficits that I created, i.e. I caused trauma, and now she must work through said trauma. But I am open to knowing that as her mother, I caused her severe trauma. And I own it. I've apologized to it. I've asked for forgiveness, and she can come to me, and she does. Even before I gave her permission, she would come to me and let me know all the ways I messed her up. She's me. She's me. So teaching her how to be assertive and it not come across as itchy with a B. We don't want to be itchy with a B. I'm learning how not to be itchy with a B, but I am loving being assertive. I was in the dentist's office with my kids, and the person who was helping me wasn't being very helpful, and I said something. And in the past, I would have felt something, rev up in my gut because it's about to be a confrontational situation. But I was like, no, I'm not saying this to confront you. I'm just saying this because if this is your role, this is the job that you've chosen to do, I would appreciate if you were helpful to me because I don't know what I'm doing, but so I'd appreciate if you helped me. That's why when Michelle Obama says when they go high, we go low. When they vibrate low, we vibrate high. That's my remix. Yeah, I'm going to get you put together, but I don't need to I don't appreciate you even acting like that. See, why you got to talk? You do your motherfucking job, which is how I would have been in the past. No, I don't need to drop my vibration. I'm like, ma'am, I don't know what I'm doing, but you do. I'd appreciate if you were helpful to me because this is the position that you're in. I pretty much told you you're not doing your job, but I said it in a way that I didn't drop my vibration. I'm not delaying these steps. That's why I asked Coco if they meant my steps, because I talk about the steps all the time in my lives. I'm running up these steps. I'm not going to step back cussing you out. Nope. I'm going to get you put together. And while I'm getting you put together, I'm continuing up my steps because I'm going places and I'm not letting nobody stop my hustle. And we let people stop our hustle by them bringing lower vibrational energy into our space and we attaching to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm matching energy. I got a t-shirt that says, I match energy. Are we having a good day? We having a good day or not? And I even thought about reframing that shirt because whether you're having a good day or not, we having a good day. You know what I'm saying? But I like my shirt as is, LoneeTaylorArt.com. But, only energy I'm matching is higher vibrational energy. I'm not allowing anyone to drop my vibration. I'm not letting anything stop my hustle. So when this whole thing happened earlier and I was like, damn, I don't even want to show up for myself. I was like, well, you letting something stop your hustle. You're a throne, don't step down. Exactly. I put them together and it's so funny, Pearl, how many people apologize to me, how many people delete their comments, how many people, I picked the wrong one. There's this chick, Melissa. She came for the community. She came for me. She came for the community because we are community. Melissa came for me. You hit your head? Yeah. You got to be careful, Bubba. Melissa came for the community. You're taking too long. I'm not taking too long. I'm working. You won't taking too long. Okay, well, I'm sorry that my timeline schedule doesn't align with yours. Melissa came for me in the community. But didn't I tell you if you come in my door and it's closed, you close it behind you? Yeah. Okay. It's like right there with the clothes. Anyway, I'm taking damn kids, y'all. These kids. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, Melissa came from me and the community came from Melissa. And Melissa deleted that comment. But it's funny because someone who's in my community had a kick up with Melissa. So Melissa's out here just messing with people. And she responded to her. And the way that she responded to her, she ate her alive too. I was like, Melissa, leave people alone, because when you come to this side of TikTok, we're not going to go low with you. We're not. We're going to get you put together in a way that you are going to reevaluate your life. And I used to pride myself. I was like, I will have you looking for a bridge if you mess with me. Leave me alone. I will have you looking for a bridge in Arizona. It ain't no damn bridges, but I will help you find one if you mess with me. And I used to pride myself in that. I was like, dang, you could eat somebody up verbally so badly that you make them reevaluate their lives. Okay, I understand that superpower, but can you make them reevaluate their lives in a way that they're like, damn, yeah, I may have messed up? Man, I'm telling you, I used to say that I was like, Dre, you better get your ex-wife before I make her go look for a bridge. I'm only being nice to her because of your kids, and your kids are connected to you. Anything that I have done for his children in the past, I knew what you meant, sis. Anything that you have done or I have done for those children in the past was on the strength of my husband, because those kids did not treat me any way, form of nothing except for, I don't like you, but the middle finger. And so I never got with that woman the way that I wanted to get with her, because I knew if I got with her, then the kids would get involved. And now I have a problem again for just simply defending myself. But I used to tell Dre all the time, I was like, get your ex-wife before I have her looking for a bridge in Arizona. I sure will. But now I know I can use my superpower for good. So I'm going to still get you put together, but I'm going to make you reevaluate your life in the respect that, why am I being nasty on the internet? Why am I being mean to people? Why am I being a troll? Like, this doesn't make sense. Especially when they're not matching my energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm being rude and I'm calling you a B and I'm telling F you, but you're not responding to me with the same energy. Now I feel stupid. So I like to make people feel and reevaluate their lives. All right, Pepper Jack, Kobe, how you doing, friend? Anyway, so I'm making some good strides with Angel, and I feel good about it. I really feel good about what we're doing with Angel, because I got ready to quit on myself and I got ready to quit on her, because when she rewrote my words, that is one point. I don't like to be called stupid. I don't like my intelligence to be questioned. And I don't like anyone to rewrite what I wrote. Those are like 3 major triggers for me where I just lose my historically, where I have, past tense, lost my stuff historically. And so when she rewrote my stuff the other night, I was just like, I can't even deal. I'm going to my room, because she's supposed to write when she gets home from school. Her requirement is she needs to write, and then she needs to do her chores by 8 p.m. My front door just opened. I think Bailey's going to work. And so she writes during the day after school, and then I write at night. And then she writes during the day, then I write at night. But when I went to go write at night, I saw she rewrote my stuff, and I was just like, again, I was ready to quit. I was like, because she's pushing back, right? Whenever you try to implement something new, you're going to get pushed back, because you're changing the direction of the way things have been going. And so she's pushing back, and she offended me. And it took this community members to talk me down off the ledge and say, hey, and it took someone who is closer in age to her and who deals with people in their life that does the same stuff to give me another perspective. That's why I love this community, because I could run in my head all day. And in my head, like Pearl said, you're right. I'm right. But there's other perspectives. There's 1,000 or 100 ways to skin a cat, right? So yes, I'm right, but how about you actually sit down and talk to the kid to figure out what their motivation was? Instead of assuming we know that this 11-year-old brain capacity did something that we would do in our 42-year-old brain capacity, how about we sit down with this 11-year-old and ask them what they did, why they did it? And then we can respond from there. And it's not about responding punitively, it's about redirecting them and correcting them. She should put her draft on a separate sheet and then asked you. So what she did was she is typing her version in her Google Doc because she is of this generation where she knows how to use Google Docs. I can't even find Google Docs. Hey, friend. Thank you. What does it say? Melanesian Wave. Thank you, Melanesian Wave. I can't even find Google Docs. But she's typing hers in her Google Docs. So I just take hers and I copy and paste it into my Word document. But what she did was, and I asked her and she knows she lied. I was like, did you only change your version or did you change mine in Word? And she was like, no, I only changed mine. But when I went to Word, I saw she copy and pasted over mine. I was like, okay, sis, but what you don't know is Control Z. So Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. I got my shit back. Don't play a player because you'll always get played. So I got the original version back that she overtyped. And then I was like, I'm going to email my version to myself. So no matter what you do, I'm going to always have my version. But we sat down and this is us putting controls in place and figuring out how we can get the upper hand. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to get the upper hand with my kid. I'm trying to teach my kid how... Yes, Black excellence. I'm trying to teach her how to be excellent, not how to backbite and how to work around, i.e., well, I'm just going to keep a secret draft back here. So if she does do something, I need to teach her how not to do stuff. I have to teach her to be a woman of her word. I need to teach her how to, if she says she's going to do something, she's going to do it. And she's going to do it with excellence. But I need to encourage that. I can't punish that into her. I have to encourage her and inspire her into her excellence. And so we sat down and had the conversation. We both were in agreement. On Sundays, we will print out our pages and we will read through it together. We'll actually sit at the computer and do it so we can make our edits at live action. But every Sunday we'll come together and we'll read what we wrote throughout the week. And we will both sit and collectively decide, is this something we want to keep? Is this something we want to get rid of? So that we're working together instead of us working apart. Because what's happening now is it's my writing, then her writing. It's my writing, then her writing, and they're not coming together, which I like that because it's the 11-year-old perspective and it's the grown woman perspective. You know what I'm saying? So I like that. The idea is that once the book is complete, it is something that a mother and a child can read together. It's something that a parent and a child, hey, how you doing? It's something that a parent and a child can work together and do something. Yes, we gonna get there. And so we're writing the book, and my hope is this is a tool that we can send out into the universe where now parents can read it with their children and they can connect and they can get into each other's heads. Because she's writing from an 11-year-old perspective. But the cool thing is she chose to write a teenager. So if our whole issue with you is that you want to act like a child, but you want teenager rights, you just chose to write a teenager perspective. So you better get into the mind space of a teenager. And while she's living in that mind space of a teenager, because when we're being creative, we start dreaming it, we start speaking it, we start being it. We can't wait to get home so we can get into it. So now that she is creating this piece in this space from a teenage perspective, I'm believing this is the tool. I believe that this is the tool that she can level herself up. And so as she's evolving and changing and we're agreeing to work together, I'm excited for her, but I almost quit when she changed my writing. But I was like, why are you going to quit on your kid? Consistently show up. Show up for yourself. Show up for her. Show up for yourself. Show up for her. So there's a lot of self-speak. Let me see what you in here talking about, Pearl. Great idea. I wish our community was on the same thing. That's important, sharing values through collaborative efforts. Yes. I didn't even know that's what I was doing, Melanated Way, but that's what I'm doing. We are collaborating together, and I'm teaching her about myself, and she's teaching me about herself. And instead of me criticizing that and being critical of that, I need to learn. And that's what clicked in yesterday by talking to Coco. Well, I said her name, I was talking to Coco yesterday, and she was like, fall back, Mom, show some compassion. And I was like, you're right. So I apologized and tried again. Let's see. No wonder she changed your writing because she wanted it to fit her perspective. And that's exactly what she said. She's like, it didn't make sense. I was like, well, it made sense if you thought about I was developing the character. And my character questioned why they were friends with a particular individual. I answered that question in the part that she deleted. I was paying homage to someone that I respect. And I wrote them into my character. Hey, who opened the door? Did Bailey go to work?
Yes.
Is that what you want?
Yes.
Give it to me.
Don't put the bike.
We're going to take a road trip because I got to go work the microwave.
Don't put it in here. Oh, dear.
No, it has to be in there. That's the way you make it. Yeah, she wanted it to be her perspective. And when we first started, I rewrote her first thing because it was a punishment. So I was coming punitively. And I was just like, you gonna do it my way or there's gonna be consequences, I was being a mom. Hold on, I can't do this with one hand. Hold on. All right, I was being mom and I was being nasty because it was a punishment. But then hold on, Bubba.
You make it and then you take them out?
Yeah, it says that you got to keep it in there and then you can take it out. Correct. Good job.
And the devil.
Say what?
And the devil.
I don't understand that part.
No, the bottom where it open.
Okay. All right, so yeah.
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too, Bubba.
Let me kill this.
You want to say what?
Let me kill this.
You want a kiss?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. All right, love you too.
So.
My kids give me love as ways to get into the camera. So I get a lot of love. Oh, damn it. I done unplugged my light, then unplugged my phone. Everything's going. Watch out, Bubbas. Watch out, Bubbas.
Do you have your phone?
Yeah, I have my phone.
Oh, I don't want to be on the camera.
You want to be on the camera?
Yeah, don't die.
You can talk for a little bit.
Don't die. I am the you to my mom.
You're going to introduce them to your mom?
Yes.
All right, introduce me. You got to get in the camera, though. You can't talk off to the side. Say, hey, Miss Pearl. Hey, Miss Barbara.
Hey, Mabel, Papa.
And Miss Pearl. Miss Pearl.
It's the thing everyone.
Huh?
It's the thing that the baby.
And now you got to talk to Melanesian Wave. You got to say, hey. They're saying hi. You got to say hi back.
Hi.
Miss Barbara said, how are you?
Done.
Good, yeah. How are you?
You done?
No, and then you ask back. That's how you have a conversation. You say, how are you?
How are you?
Yeah. Your food is ready. You want to go get it?
No.
Oh, you're going to stay here. Well, Mom's going to keep talking while you sit here and stare at the camera, okay? You got to release control to gain control, so I got to... Miss Barbara said, I'm good, thank you.
Thank you, I do too.
I'm good too, yes. Melanesian said, we're fine, thank you. Sorry, I just took the wave off the end of your name, I'm sorry.
So if you not, then you don't do a help or then
I don't know what you said, Bubba.
don't do our help.
Come to our house?
Yeah.
Why do you want them to come to our house?
He done.
Because what?
I want them to hear my water music.
You want them to do what?
I want them to hear my water music.
Hear your music?
Yeah.
Okay.
My music is the dead music.
Okay.
Don't tell the dead or he does help you, mom, and
Go get your food, Bubba.
and don't blow the dead or Bobby happy
Okay.
all the dead.
Okay. I appreciate you talking to us. Thank you.
Until I come to your house.
Yo, put that charger back. Is that Daddy's charger? No, that's not Daddy's charger. You could take that one.
In my phone?
No, it's broken.
Boston?
All right, so yeah.
Can you buy me a new Nintendo and a new bottle and a new daughter?
No, I'm not buying you another Kindle. That's because she is not writing from a woman perspective.
I bought me a one bacon.
She's not. She's writing in the perspective that she's writing from. Thank you guys for engaging with my baby.
I bought me a one bacon. I be
Okay, Bubba. Can mommy finish?
No, not yet. So I bought me a one bacon. I don't buy it. I bought me a one bacon. Buy no Nintendo.
Oh, if I buy you another Kindle, you're not gonna break it because you're 4 years old now. You're not 3. So you've matured. You've gotten older. So you're more responsible and you're going to take care of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. I'll talk to your dad. It's up to Daddy. If you show responsibility, he did.
If you buy me a new Nintendo and a new bottle and a new daughter, you need all my Nintendo.
Oh, that's what I need to do?
Yes.
Okay. Will you go get your food out the microwave? And bring it to me so I can make sure I put it in there long enough. I haven't cooked one of those. I stopped eating microwave food, but yes, my kids apparently still do. I don't know where this food comes from. Bailey bought the microwave. He's not even going to eat this. It's a chimichanga and they be kicking. I ain't ate microwave food in so long. I be in here hungry too because I don't cook. So I be eating lots of fruit. I eat a lot of fruit. But yeah. She's writing from, so it's me learning an appreciation for her writing style. It's me, she's in a completely different generation than I am, like adolescent novels.
I want to do my food.
You want to show them your food, but I need to make sure it's cooked. Yeah. You want to show them?
Yes.
There.
Look.
That's his chimichanga.
Yes. And I want to show them my part of my food.
No, I want you to go so mommy can talk.
Look, my food is ready.
Your food is ready.
So if you need to eat my food, tell me eat them.
Yeah, go eat it. It feels like it's warm. We don't want you to eat cold. It's hot, huh?
Yeah.
You want mommy to break it in half for you so you don't burn yourself?
Yeah.
There you go. It's open. Let it cool off a little bit, okay? There you go, Bubba.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch out, boy.
Bye, Dad. Day.
He said, have a good day. And Melanesian Wave said, it looks yummy. She said, you're onto something with that. Bye-bye, Bubba.
And I want to tell them something.
You want to tell him something? Okay, this is the last thing.
Can you come to our house a little bit?
Can you come to our house for a little bit?
Not yet, but you do
Put your shoes on.
But you do on it, you don't on it.
Put your shoes and socks on.
Yeah, but you do it don't on it.
They gave you a big heart, Bubba. What are you gonna say? You gotta do your heart. How do you do your heart? Yeah, we gotta do our hearts. They gave us a big heart too. You hear it? Did you hear it?
Yeah.
I heard it too. Go eat. Mommy wants to finish. I'm almost done.
But you got on and don't do a house.
Put your shoes and socks on and yes, I'm not gonna relay your message, Miss Barbara, because he won't stop.
But there's a day.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
There's a day
They need to.
They need to, but they want them to a house.
I told them. We relayed the message. Caden, go eat your food. Out. We had a wonderful moment, and I love it. He does. Shut the door, Bubba. Thank you, Bubs. Okay. Him and Michael, they're going to have their own platform. Once all of this does whatever it's going to do, and I can free myself from building this, and I can build them, they're going to have their own because they're naturals. And when I say naturals, I have videos of them when they're 2 years old, just on. 3, just on. You know, this is in them. Yes. Thank you. I know. I love you guys. I love you guys, really. Yeah, so she was writing from her perspective, and I have to understand that, like, adolescent literature today is different than adolescent. Well, I never read adolescent. They didn't even have that genre when I was a kid. Like, I was literally in my elementary library reading V.C. Andrews books, you know, in the 3rd grade reading V.C. Andrews, Flowers in the Attic, like, just love in romance novels. I found so many romance novels in my elementary, man, the 80s were wild. Yes, Fabio was in my library in elementary school. So those are the books I was reading. I have to understand that we're 2 different people. At the end of the day, Pearl, you're right. We're 2 different people. Man, I read some really good books. And then to find out that V.C. Andrews had passed away and somebody was writing under her name as a pen writer and all those different things. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I want to finish friendship, which is why I started today. Because I've made some revelations about friendship. I had the conversation with the person. Y'all don't let me get sidetracked. I had the conversation with the person. And the person said that I changed my answer. And because I changed my answer, sorry if you weren't here for that part of the conversation, but the person said I changed my answer. And because I changed my answer, they said I'm untrustworthy. I can't trust you. Damn. You asked me if something's wrong. I said nothing. You said something's wrong because everybody else told me something's wrong. And I felt something's wrong too. You made a face. And I said, well, let me figure out, why would I have made a face? Well, maybe this is what's wrong. Well, you just told me nothing's wrong. Well, you insisted something's wrong, so I tried to find something wrong. Well, now I can't trust you. Oh, and you've done it twice, so now I can't trust you. Trust you. I'm like, oh, okay. And so they distance themselves from me. You know how we do when someone does something we don't like, we start creating distance. Barbara, I know. This is why it's so, like, this is stupid. This is asinine. And I put this person up on this walk on water pedestal, and I learned to stop doing that with this person. And so they created distance between us, and I was like, okay, I played it because we did have a conversation. Maybe you didn't want to share. Maybe, but I didn't know. If I knew, Pearl, I would have said what it was. Because I'm pretty open and transparent, and I know in sharing, I'll either say I don't want to share, so I'm still communicating, because effective communication isn't in withholding information and then allowing resentment to build because you're not speaking your truth. Communication for me, and this is just me, is yes, there's something wrong, but I don't feel comfortable sharing now. Welcome back, Carby. You know, I don't feel comfortable sharing now. So I would have gave her that if I had that, but I didn't know what she was talking about. I went fishing. I went on a goddamn fishing expedition to find something wrong. And then when I went and found something wrong, you know, I'm untrustworthy. I gave you what you wanted, and now it made me untrustworthy. So they created this distance. And you know how you start monitoring how people's behavior change. And so I thought you were here earlier. I don't remember. But welcome back from yesterday. Boom. I don't know. Every day runs into each other. Now you're going to make me scroll through to see if I've seen your name already. But anyway, I know when you show up because you have that blue and brown thing by your name when you show up. So whenever I see that blue brown, I automatically know it's you. And I swear I've seen it already tonight. But don't get me caught up in semantics. My kids always get caught up in semantics, and I do too. I'm like, that's semantics. Where did they learn it? What you needed from her, now it's time to move on to the next level. Pearl, let me tell my story. You speaking wisdom. I'm trying to tell the story in the wisdom. You done told our conclusion. But, you know, she started creating this distance between us, and I was like, okay, I didn't ask because I'm still in the, oh, you're fine, baby. I love it. This is us. This is the community. We're dope as hell. We already know what we're going to say. I promise Carby said that her children have a behavior, and I started teaching from the point of that behavior. And then after I finished teaching, I read the next line, and Carby was like, I'm already correcting it. I was like, damn. Conclusion before I even get to the conclusion. We know, but I like to tell stories anyway, so let's just tell some damn stories. You know, so she started creating distance, and I was like, okay, let me see what this is, because I'm still moving how I moved in past friendships, because I don't know how to move in friendships. I don't know how to be a friend. I think I'm a decent friend, but I know I can be a better friend. But when people start acting funny towards you, how do you respond to that? Dope ass humans in the comment section, get to know each other, connect, grow your network. Oh, and purpose driven done shown up. Hey sis, dope ass humans in the chat. Definitely connect. Anyway, so I purposefully continue to move the way that I've always moved in this relationship. I could have just called and say, hey, are you creating distance between us? I could have. And today I would. But at that time, I didn't have that. I was like, let me just see if what I believe to be true is true. Because, you know, if you come to somebody, you say, hey, do you have a problem? And then they all of a sudden, you know, they buck up. Like, yes, they have a problem, but they're going to now be confrontational about that instead of admitting they have a problem. So I'm playing the game that I've been taught to play. And we both had a conversation before that we don't do fake friends. And so she felt when I couldn't tell her what was wrong with me, I was being a fake friend. No, I just didn't know the answer, and you didn't give me an opportunity to know the answer. But that was the last lesson I learned from this. We're talking about this lesson. And so I'm saying, okay, is she being a fake friend? And she's like, well, she's being a fake friend, so we're creating this fake friend space between us. And I'm moving normally to prove to her that I'm not a fake friend. I'm going to continue to message you the same stuff that I messaged you before. I'm going to continue to, you know, crack the same jokes that I cracked before. I'm going to continue moving the way that I used to move, just to see if what I'm feeling is real. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the hearts. We're up to 10K likes. We're up to 8 shares. Y'all know my ass can't see, and we are consistently with viewers. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. And Carby's back, even though Carby was never here. And so she messages me because I post a video. I post a video that's talking about the demise of the relationship and how I'm okay with the demise of the relationship. But I was like, I don't want her to happen across these videos and think that I'm talking about her. So anytime I record a video that I mention somebody in the video, I tag them and say, hey, I made this video. And so she came to me and she's like, why would you go to the internet with the problem that you have with me instead of coming to me? I was like, because I go to the internet with all my problems. You act like I'm talking about you behind your back. No. I'm documenting my healing journey, and there was a demise of a relationship, and I'm documenting it. I'm not talking about you on the internet. I'm not running to the internet to talk about you. Thank you, Carby. I'm not doing any of those things. I'm just documenting my journey, and a relationship just ended, and I didn't say anything derogatory. I was like, she's actually teaching me. She's actually teaching me in the demise of our relationship. So anyway, she was like, we can talk about this. You could call me if you want to talk about this. I was like, no. Did you meet? I met her on TikTok. You know who she is. You know, but don't say the name because I'm not going to confirm or deny. She told me to keep her name out of her mouth and not so many words, so I will never say her name again. And I told her, I will never mention your name. But I'm going to tell my story. So I'm going to tell my story as long as it's relevant. And it's relevant to today because I'm still learning from this person. That's why just because a relationship ends, just because a circumstance ends, does not mean that the lessons stop. She is teaching me till this day. And so she was like, we could talk about it if you want to. I was like, no, I've come to, no, that's an associate. No, I consider you a friend, Barbara. You are a friend. What you give to me, you are a friend to me. You're not an associate. You're not an associate in the respect that what you bring to me, you bring value to my life. An associate is just someone that you know, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, how you doing? No, I care about you, Barbara. You know I do. You're a friend. So I understand what you're saying. I fully 100% know what you're saying. But I have grown to the space that what we have means something to me. And I don't diminish what we have simply because I met you on the internet. Now, do I think you're gonna put your socks and shoes on and come over to my house and we gonna big kick it? Probably not. We live two completely different lives. But do I love you like you're my sister? Yes, you are a friend. So this was a friend. Because they fed into my spirit and they grew me, which is something a friend does, right? That's friendly behavior. So we could find a different word than friend, but you understand. So maybe we could just find a different word. That's just like when I said I have to break my children and Trinity was like, you don't want to break them. I was like, well, let me explain. You know how a wild horse, when you want to tame a wild horse, you need to break it so that you can build it up. I need to break my kids' resistance to evolution so that I can help them evolve. And so that's why I switched to breakthrough. I need to break through to my children so that now I can uplift them. And so friendly behavior. All right. So she was a friendly behavior individual. We're going to find a pretty little bow for that one. Anyway, so yeah, she's like, we could call and have a conversation about this. And I was like, there's really nothing to say. You did what you said and I'm okay with the space that we're in. And so I was like, you can call me. And so she calls me and we have a conversation and it's a literal argument. When I posted all those videos about I've been arguing with people, she was one of the people I was arguing with, which was asinine to me because I'm like, why am I arguing with somebody I met on the internet? And I'm talking to Dre because it's aggravated my spirit. And he was like, it's somebody you met on the internet. I was like, that doesn't mean that what we're going through isn't real. Like, this is real. This is a real breakup. Because we had something going. And this person was feeding into me. I went through so many evolutions with this person. This person taught me so much that I went from here to here with this person. My ascensions, this person taught me what an ascension was and that I was rapidly ascending. Every click and change in my brain, that was an ascension. I realized that ascension isn't like, whoop. Ascension is like this. So you're constantly just shedding and shedding and shedding and shedding. And as you become lighter, you rise. And that's what ascension is to me. So I was ascending with this person. So there was something there for me. And so I'm talking to Dre about it. He's like, man, whatever. And I was like, I can't talk to him about this. So anyway, we had this argument. And at the end of the argument, this 1.5-hour argument, I am arguing with this person. And I'm allowing this to happen because at this point, I'm the observer in my life, which means even though I'm sitting here having this conversation, there is a Lonnie that is sitting right here watching me, observing and learning from me. So I am the observer in my life. And that's why I say meditation is just practice for us to learn how to become the observer in our life. Because if we can be the observer, when we still our mind and when a thought comes across while we're meditating, we're supposed to just watch it. I talk about this in my book, What's the Best That Can Happen, available on Amazon. Make sure the seller is Lonnie Taylor or LonnieTaylorArt.com. If we can sit in meditation and we can observe a thought and not get involved and we can just watch it, then we can open our eyes and become the observer in our life. It's so helpful. And so I am the observer in my life and I allowed this argument to go for 1.5 hours just because I'm freaking fat flabbergasted. I'm like, yo, this is really happening. and I'm just watching it. I've let a lot of things happen since I've been in this spiritual awakening because I'm just watching it. I watched my husband, and I'm the one driving. I watched my husband harass this couple. He wasn't harassing them. The husband needed a haircut. He was like, yo, that man needs a haircut. And he's so serious because my husband's a barber. So he's not just saying that the guy needs a haircut. He's saying, I can give you a haircut, but he's drunk. I'm the designated driver. And he's like, man, that man needs a haircut. And I'm watching this exchange happen. And at no point did I just drive off because I'm just sitting there thinking, they're having a conversation. Who am I to say when this conversation needs to end? This is me taking his control away. Yes, thank you so much. Shoot. All right. It's really, you about to have to become an unofficial moderator because you know what this is. Anyway, so there's a lot of things where I just allowed to happen a lot longer than they should just because I'm watching it. Because now I'm not just living my life, I'm watching my life. So circumstances when I'm living my life and I would just be reactionary, react, do, don't think, just do. This situation, do this. This situation, do this. Now I'm watching and I'm learning, but I can't learn if I cut it off. So I got to let it go. I got to let this shit play out and see what happens. This whole not giving up on myself, and maybe if I don't give up on myself, I could click from inspiration to in spirit. I'm watching. Because if I could do this, then I could teach this. So I'm watching. I'm the observer in my life. And so I'm like, lost my train of thought because I just read your comment, purpose-driven life. Sorry. Yeah, so I'm letting this conversation play out way longer than it should happen. And by the end of the conversation, she said, do you want to be friends or something like that? I mean, I know that sounds simplistic, but pretty much that's what the end of the conversation was. Are we going to continue this friendship or not? And I was like, I only want to continue this relationship if we can go back to how the relationship was. Now, this was 2 weeks ago. This wasn't 2 years ago. This was 2 weeks ago. We were fine. And then you found me untrustworthy. And then you started holding me at an arm's length. And I don't like that. You ain't gonna ignore my text. You ain't gonna message me back a day later like, oh, I've been super busy and stuff like that. Not when you used to message me right back. So if you can go back to the behaviors that we had before, boom, I'm 100% into this relationship, friendship, whatever. I'm talking this, you're receiving what you need to receive to evolve your life. So I don't want this friendship how it is. So if you're not willing to go back to how it was, then I don't want it. And she's like, all right, I'm gonna get in the shower. And that's how the friendship ended. No hard feelings, no nothing, except for boom, over. And I've never had a friendship end like that. And it was profound. It was monumental. It was mind blowing. I was like, yo, there's no what ifs. There's no questionings. There's no nothing. Like, this is dope as fuck. Like, a relationship can end like this. Like, we can have a one last conversation, or now I know that I can come have one last moment with myself. Like, that whole time that she created that distance with me, I could have determined with myself, I'm done. And I could have just communicated with her, I'm done. But I didn't know to do that. But now I do. And so the revelations that I'm having now, I typed it because these are a message that I was having with someone else. And I'm going to read it because I didn't take like bullet notes. But as I read it, I'll start speaking about what I've received. But it's going to be a bunch of extra stuff within the message. But what I'm saying is, I'm understanding that friendships, associations, friendly-like behavior, whatever you want to call it, is for that moment. The experience that taught me it's okay to break from someone. You don't have to keep forcing a relationship. And that's the story I just told you. We don't have to keep forcing relationships. And that's what I love about this relationship this friendly-like behavior association that I have with someone now. We're both open and aware that this can end at any moment. And it's not going to end because of something bitterness. It may just end because, as someone said earlier, I believe it was Pearl, but if I'm misquoting, I apologize, but I like to cite my sources and give my flowers. Somebody said earlier, it ran its course. It was time for it to end. So I love that this person that I'm talking to, and I love that all of you understand, we all understand that what we have here has this season, and it may have a lifetime. We don't know, but we are in all of the energy. You're welcome. We're in all of the energy while we're in it, and we can be in appreciation. You know what I'm saying? And then Jamaica, on the unofficial party bus, I learned friendship is short term. When I was in Jamaica, we were on the tour bus to go to the Bob Marley situation, and the people on the back of the bus, like, we were family. We went to Dunn's Falls first. We went and climbed a waterfall. The amount of people who took the fact that we were climbing a god dang waterfall for granted. How many of y'all have climbed a waterfall? And I'm not challenging you. I'm just saying, how epic is the fact that I'm climbing a waterfall? I don't care if it's on a tour, a 3-hour tour. I don't care if it's a tour. It's the fact that I'm climbing a god dang waterfall. Put that on my bucket list. That's dope to me. We have 14K likes, consistent views, and 9 shares. Thank you, guys. I appreciate all of it. I'm sorry I'm not keeping up on the hand gestures. Yeah, I know your family from Jamaica, so you already know. Yeah, I saw them jumping from that cliff. I wasn't about to do that. My spirit ain't here. My spirit's not here for it. I do some things, but that's not one of the things I'm doing. And so, so we climbed this waterfall, but in climbing this waterfall, we built sisterhood and brotherhood. Like, people I don't know, complete strangers from across the world are like, here, sis, I got you. Watch out, there's rocks right there. It's slippery. There's a step down and there's a step down. Hey, Dre, help them get up. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Like, we all start working together and working collectively and looking out for each other. And in this moment, we are friends. Now, are we friends that we're going to carry off? Yo, let me get your number so we can stay in contact? No. But the energy of friendship that I have identified is happening right now. The hand gestures just keep being you. It's okay, Lonnie. You don't have to do. Okay, thank you. I was trying to get on to how could I incorporate the AI? How could I incorporate the AI? Because I'm trying to get that AI money too, but I'm not going to act like an AI, but I will definitely give you what you want while I'm talking. And so, thank you, babe. I love your energy too. You're such a cutie pie. I know you're a grown-ass woman, but you're such a cutie pie. Anyway, it was on that party bus that I realized friendship isn't long-term, because I had these people's backs. Like, the way they got down on that pier in Montgomery, if something would have happened in Jamaica, we would have got down. I got your back like we've been aces since day one. So that's where I'm like, friendship can be formed in a moment, and that friendship ends soon as that moment is over. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking out for you. I got your back. And so that's what I learned in Jamaica. So now I know that friendships can end and it doesn't have to be bitter. And now I know friendship can be short term. And just because it's short term does not mean that's a negative. And that's where I developed a theory that relationships and friendships are moments to moments to moments. I recorded some really dope videos, so I don't want to step on those videos. I'm here, Carby, until 3. Well, I'm here for another 20 minutes. And you better get to that gym, sis. You better you could get to the gym. Yay, I'm so proud of you. Yes, I'm so proud. I'm sorry, I don't need the hand gestures. Boom, but you know what I'm saying. I appreciate you. So I learned some things, and I realized that friendships are moments. Friendships are just a series of moments that are streamed together, and whatever is used to stream that together is where that may or make or break the friendship. But I recorded some videos on that, so I really don't want to go into that side because I had some new revelations here. I learned another day of connectivity is earned. So another day of having access to you, Another day, you're welcome, babe. Another day of having access to me is earned. It's not given, it's earned, which means how you treat me up into the next day of access to me determines if you have access to me, because I have boundaries and I have standards for myself. Carby told me when we first started talking that she values communication. So in order for me to have access to Carby, I must communicate. And if I don't communicate, or if I can set my standards as well, Carby, I may not communicate how you want me to communicate, but I will communicate because I understand that's your requirement for this relationship to continue. I know that's what you need from me. And so I make sure that I communicate so that I have access to her another day, because I value this relationship. So in that value of this relationship, I'm listening to her handle with care instructions, and I'm aligning with those as best I can. Oh, I appreciate you, Pearl. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I'm so happy that I fed you, and you fed me as well. And that's friendship. And we were friends in this moment. So I can look at you as a friend. And I don't ever have to look at you like an enemy. Everybody thinks just because we're not friends anymore, we're enemies. No, we were friends. And we vibed the fuck out like friends do. That's why friendship is moments to me. You talk to me, if I reply, if one of us falls off, the other can choose to check in, or the communication just stops. So what that means is I can check on you and you can check back. You could check on me. I could check back. Or you could fall off and I could choose to check in with you, or I can choose just to allow the relationship to die, because the relationship ran its course. And there's no bitterness in that, and there's no pressure to maintain anything. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with that now. I don't need to know what happened. I no longer create the narrative of what did I do wrong. I just flow. I think I like your go with the flowism. Okay, so that's me talking to them. So what that means is, when someone is silent, we all of a sudden create a narrative in our brain, and we're just like, oh, this is what's happening, and what did I do? And we're running back our last conversation, like, what did I say? Especially with not the opposite sex, but in romantic relationships. If something happens in there, we're like, what did I say? What did I do? And we're already apologizing for the nothing that we did. It could just be the person is a flake and they don't know how to communicate, but we don't know because we automatically turn into this internal dialogue that we must have done something wrong. Or we turn into the dialogue of making that person the bad guy, creating our own narrative. Go with the flow. Yes, I'm learning, and it's beautiful. And so this person that I'm typing this message to, I was like, I really love your go with the flowism, because you and I are on the same page. This relationship is going to do what this relationship does. And we're both okay when it stops doing what it do. You don't have to agree with me, but you don't disagree with me or try to impress your views on me. We just share, pull out what's for us, and move on. We have these friends, and we feel like we and our friends need to have things in common. Just because we have connectivity points does not mean we need to be carbon copies of each other. It does not mean we need to think like each other. It doesn't mean like we need to dress like each other. I'm looking at I was going to do air quotes, but my real friends, my ride or die friends. And yes, I met them on the internet, but I've also met them in real life. And we've been friends as long as Caden. So Caden's 4 years old. We've been friends for 4 years. I did meet them on the internet, but these are my sisters. And I look at them and I'm like, yo, we ain't got nothing in common. I was like, we don't like the same stuff. We don't listen to the same music. We don't nothing. You know what I'm saying? But we're bonded. We're down for each other. We love each other. You need, I got. Your kids are my aunt, my nieces and nephews. Whatever you need, I got you. And it's like, we get caught up in, we need to create carbon copies of ourselves. I was watching this video where this couple was walking on the pier and somebody stopped them and they were like, would you rather have $1 million or 5 minutes with Jesus? Y'all go ahead and answer that. Would you rather have $1 million or 5 minutes with Jesus, and why? The girl said $1 million. The guy said 5 minutes with Jesus because there's something profound in that 5 minutes. But when the guy said the opposite answer of the girl's face was like he did something for not agreeing with her. Just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I disagree with you. It just means I have my own thoughts and ideas, and I should be able to have, hey, welcome back, Melanesian. You know, I should be allowed to have my own thoughts and ideas just because I'm your friend. Just because I'm your friend doesn't mean I have to think like you. And I love the space that I'm in with this particular friend association. How about that? Friend association, that's good. With this particular friend association, I love the fact that this person never tries to change my idea. This person, or my thinking, never tries to influence my thinking, never does any of those things. They just let me have my thoughts, and I allow them to have their thoughts. And so, in the transition is, oh, you think so? Well, you know, it's not, oh no, like somebody really, a couple people, but people think that I victim shame, and I don't victim shame. I just don't think that all the people that identify themselves as victims are necessarily victiming. And that's me, and I'm allowed to have that space. By me feeling the way or having my philosophy, which is thought out, I thought everybody that thought they were a victim was a victim. When I was thinking that, it's because I never actually thought about what a victim is. I just did what society told me. But when I actually thought about what a victim is, I was like, well, I think everybody that classifies themselves as a victim, it's okay, but please stop making noise. Everybody that classifies themselves as a victim, I don't think they're necessarily a victim. And I think really what I am questioning is victim mentality, not victimization. Everybody can be victimized. It's those who choose to stay in victim mentality. But quite a few people were like, be careful, don't victim blame, be careful, don't victim blame, and, you know, writing me notebooks. And this chick is really going back and forth with me about, you know, and I was like, you know, the beautiful thing about our community is we can agree to disagree. And they're like, well, I'm not going to agree to disagree because what you're saying is blah, blah, blah. I was like, well, I'm going to agree to let you argue with yourself because you are not going to change my philosophy when I've actually thought about what I'm saying, when I actually had your philosophy and actually stopped. No, we're not. Mommy's talking. No, we're not. I know, but we're not. I allowed you to talk. Now let mommy finish, please. Get down so you don't fall. No. You can talk later. Mommy is working. Please stop. You know, I'm going to agree to allow you to argue with yourself. Because what you're not going to do is change my philosophy that I've actually put thought behind with you trying to argue with me down in my comment section. I'm not. And I'm not trying to convince you. I actually tried to let's just agree to disagree. And if you don't agree, move the fuck on, scroll. What are you arguing with me for? I'm not your friend. Right, Barbara? I'm not your friend. We're nothing. Don't you encourage him. He don't want the stage. He do, but I don't want him to have it. I want the stage right now. You know, so I really like how I have come to the understanding that as friends, we don't have to agree. We just need to respect each other. I respect when Barbara says that's an associate, and I understand. Can you please, because now you kicked my light off. Please go. I want you to go because you want to play right now. And put that marker down because go get a piece of paper if you want to use the marker. You know, Barb was like, no, that's not a clean piece of paper. Go look in the front and see if you can find a piece of paper here. Barbara was like, no, that's an associate. And I 100% agree with you. That is an associate. But then I can explain my perspective and you can say, oh, I understand. So we don't have to agree. We just have to understand each other. And that's friendly behavior. Not, oh, we don't agree, so now I'm going to create distance between us because we don't agree. We don't have the same life philosophy. Why the hell do we need, especially when your friends are supposed to be mirrors, which means your friends are supposed to bump up against you so that you both can grow. Me and this particular individual that I'm talking to, we constantly bump up against each other. And in that, We're like growth opportunity, growth opportunity, growth opportunity, because we're constantly challenging each other's thinking. Okay, when you have a piece of paper, you keep the pen on the paper. You don't write on the comforter and the paper. On the paper. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. With me, try to impress your views upon me. Let me see, we just share, pull out what's for us. Boom. When I say fake, I just mean topical. Oh, because they were just saying how they reconvened with a friend. And when they reconvened, they did about, a couple months of that topical conversation. Like, hey, how's your day? How's the family? Oh, we're fine. Well, you're not really fine, but you don't trust me enough to tell me what's going on in your life. You have to fill me out. And I was just like, I don't want, first of all, anything I say, anything that comes out of your mouth, you need to be okay with it being repeated. If you are not okay with it being repeated, don't say it. Because people are guarded. You're breaking it. And I don't like that.
Okay.
Stop pushing on it like that. That's how you ruin it, and then nobody can use it, okay? So stop pressing.
Okay.
We are guarded and we don't say certain things to people because we don't trust them. But why do we have people around us that we can't trust? I just think there should be a better vetting system in place to where, no, you don't need to come in just spilling your business to anybody. But if you have relationships where you cannot be your authentic self, whatever that looks like, my authenticity looks like this. This may not be your authenticity, and that's okay. But
yeah,
if you are surrounding yourself with people, thank you. If you are surrounding yourself with people that you cannot be your authentic self, stop. Then you are surrounding yourself with the wrong people. People that really was not my friend. So now I use the associate. And I understand. I like friend association. So I'm going to start saying that. It's just, when I type, okay, friend, am I supposed to say, okay, friend associate? But no, I understand. It's a friend association. When I verbalize it, I'm going to start saying that because you're right. But even with friendship is earned, you've earned my friendship. I don't know. It's really weird. But maybe because I'm an authentic person and I just trust and I'm calling into myself authentic people. So you've earned my loyalty, Barbara. If you called me and boop, 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 I'd be like, boom, I got you. If I got it, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way I am. I'm here for people. People ain't got to check no boxes. Like, I am trusting that the people that I call into myself, I'm calling in those people. It's not showing me, it's understanding me. Did I say something? Because I read right above it, until you show me different. Then you said, it's not showing me, it's understanding me. Are those connected or not? But let me see. Like, how's the weather? Kids are great. Husband's great. They're not really, but I don't know if I can trust you with my truth. So that's how you earn trust. I just don't understand being around people you have to guard yourself from. I understand you can't trust everyone, but there's a level of real someone can be without disclosing anything that they will regret later. People think I'm telling all my business, and I am, but that's business. I'm 100% okay with anything I talk about getting out. Release fear of judgment, shame for being a human. We're human. Surround yourself with people who you can trust, and never repeat anything you don't want repeated. So all that's just saying is, if you vet the people that you allow yourself, or you allow into your life, and you put the control in place for yourself, that I'm not going to put anything out there that I'm afraid will get out. I tell that to Bailey all the time. Bailey wants to talk to people. I was like, go find somebody in California to tell all your business to. The people I tell all my business to are in California and Atlanta. And I tell everything to y'all on the internet. But no, they know the real business. That way you don't have to worry about anything that you say getting back to your social circle, because y'all don't know the same people. You could say whatever the hell you want to get it up off your chest, and she could say whatever she wants to get it up off her chest, and it's never going to get back to anyone else. But we should be allowed the space to vent. But why are we allowing relationships around us that we have to vent about more often than we can rave about? We always got to vent about our spouse. We always got to vent about our friends. We always got to vent about our kids. Why aren't we doing the work to correct those relationships? So I've had some really, like I said, I filmed like 4 videos yesterday about friendship that I'm just like, yeah, this is going to blow some doors open for some people. There's some work to be done. So in our last 5, what in the world are you doing? Cut it out. Don't say okay. Whatever you are doing, fix it. Clean it up. This boy sound like he tearing the house down. Like he went in there like when they throwing a tantrum and throwing stuff all around. That's what it sound like. But he ain't throwing a tantrum. He's doing it for fun. Let's see. This texting is hard for me to say what I mean. Okay. That's fine. But I understand you. I think I understand what you're saying. You showed me that first time. The first time they did something, they showed you who they were. Because that's what I fell victim of with the old girl who was like, well, what's wrong? And I was like, well, nothing's wrong. And then I came back and I said, something's wrong. She's saying that I'm no longer trustworthy because I gave her one answer and then I switched my answer. Therefore, I'm a liar, was her thought process. So, I don't know. That was a good talk, y'all. Oh, yeah. Oh, I showed you who I was. Boom. See? You were able to get it off? Yes, I showed you who I was. And it doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take months to figure out who someone is. If you allow someone, boom, that's a good one. We're going to finish with our last 3 minutes this way. Yo, Kaden, close my door, please. We allow people in because they show us who they are to gain access. You better teach, Barbara. I was able to gain access to you because I showed you qualities of a person that you would identify as a friend. Now, that was our first moment. Now, we ebb and flow in between our next moment. In our next moment of friendly-like behavior. And in that next moment, I can gain further access, or I can gain another day of access to you because I showed you, oh, she's consistent. She is who she's showing me who she is. And so now we work to our next moment. And the same thing, you're showing me too. So it's not like, oh, is Barbara my friend? Is Barbara my friend? Is Barbara my friend? No, it's both ways. Nobody needs to be a lackey anymore. We're not lacking. If somebody wants us to lick their boot in order to be their friend, then that's not a friend. So, oh yeah. So it's moment to moment to moment. And the moment somebody shows you something you don't like, you can choose to disassociate. But in choosing to disassociate, I think a good practice is to communicate. Instead of leaving that person to bother you, like, Kaden, James, come close this door. No, don't complain. You should have never left my door open. No. Shut my door. Okay, I won't cut you off anymore. What do you need to say? He said he'll shut the door. I don't need to raise my voice. It's always Kaden. Okay, I apologize for raising my voice, but hey, let me talk. Don't shut the door in my face. Let me talk now. When you came in my room, my door was closed, correct?
Yes.
The expectation or mommy's rule is open the door. Don't play me. We're not doing that. Open the door. The expectation or the rule is if you come into a closed door, you close it behind you, right?
Yeah.
So when you went out there, don't close the door in my face. It's all fun and games. When you went out there to play and sing, why didn't you close my door? Because you forgot. And I said, close my door, and you didn't listen. I asked with the lower tone, and you didn't listen. So then I had to pull in the whole name so you could respect me. Shut the door, please. All right. Yes, we are officially... You're at 20K, I'm only at 50K. But hey, or 15K, I'm only at 50. I'm only at 15, but hey, y'all see what I don't see. That makes me... Thank you so much. That's friendship. That is friendship. You went and you set a goal for me. The fuck? Like, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. You care about me, and I care about you, and that is friendly-like behavior, and that's beautiful. That's what we have in this community. But what I was saying is, it's moments to moments, and the moment that somebody shows you that the moment that someone shows you that they're not gang, you are well within your right to say, hey, I'm going to go ahead and disassociate. The only thing, hey, buddy, you always pop in at the last. Are you getting off of work and that's why you pop on at the end, or you just don't know when I go on? Because I be wanting to talk extra 30 minutes just for you. But a person showed you a flaw, but boom, how about this? Moment, beautiful, moment, beautiful, moment, beautiful, moment, beautiful. But you had all these beautiful moments. Are you going to shit on all these beautiful moments because someone moved? Remember, we don't always have to agree. We don't always have to get along. Now, is this necessary? Is me saying nothing's wrong and then switching? Okay, well, welcome, Lon. Me switching to, okay, this is potentially what's wrong. Is that me showing a character flaw? Is that showing that I'm not trustworthy? When I've shown trustworthy, and then you put a stipulation on me that I was unaware that it was on me, so you're pretty much setting me up to pass a test that I don't even know that I'm taking. And then when I fail the test, you now punish me, but you don't tell me I'm being punished for it. And now I got to figure out I'm being punished. And all I'm saying is the next step in friendship, if we're not already doing this, is saying, hey, you did this and that doesn't vibe with me. So I think I'm going to end this friendship. And we need to be okay with that and be like, okay, I understand. Not, oh no, because like Barbara said earlier, you can never go back to how it was. If you aren't able to move past the hurt, to move past the ego, because that's ego. Ego is saying, oh, damn it, my finger stuck. Look, oh, it popped. It's this one now. I got trigger finger in this one now, Vaughn. But I'm drinking my water. I think water might be my problem. Coco said something earlier about water, but I didn't read it, and it's too many messages back to go. If we're going through friendship like this, check this box. Check this box. Check this box. Oh, they didn't check this box. Okay, but they were doing good. They were doing good. They were doing good. You're willing to disrupt the whole relationship because someone didn't move how you wanted them to move. And you didn't communicate with them that they didn't move the way that you wanted them to move. And so now you are holding them to task because they didn't move the way that you wanted them to move. How about you have a conversation? But the conversation should have been at the offense point. The conversation isn't the person who's being held to task now reaching out to you and saying, hey, did I do something? No, it is your job to reach to them and say, hey, this is what you did. And either we're going to correct what you did or I'm going to disassociate. And that's not me saying, look, you're going to get down like I say you get down or we're disassociated. No, that's not what I mean. It's like, hey, when you did this kind of offended me. So can we talk about it so that you don't do this behavior again? We cannot automatically identify this as a character flaw. This could also be a pride point where you're like, well, I said if somebody does this, I can't fuck with them no more. So I know this person has proven trustworthy, but I said, so we have to make sure that we're not moving based off of I said.
Can you me, Judy?
I will help you with those in a second, Bubba. Give mommy two more minutes. I'm in conclusion.
If me, I got be too mad.
I understand. You're going to be mad at me about something. This is the vibe that you give, but it's okay. We gonna work on it.
I would say, say sorry.
Say sorry. I will apologize if I do something wrong.
Yeah.
I understand. And so will you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So we got to make sure that it's not pride and ego that we're sabotaging ourselves. This is self-sabotage. If we are not communicating, if we are disassociating, if we are not doing the work to educate the people who have proven to be self-worthy, we are self-sabotaging. So we need to make sure we're not doing that. But
put them on top of...
Yes, you can put them on top.
I can put it. It's too far.
It's too far? Go get your step stool, Bubba. It's over there somewhere. It's in the closet or something like that.
It's not in the closet.
Okay, well, go get your step stool.
It's by the dining table.
Oh my God, it's by the dining table. Duh, Mom. You know, so I think we had a good chat today, y'all. And Vaughn, I even got a dang out of you in your little 5 minutes with us, so I did some work. I ain't even got to stay another 30 minutes to get the dang out you. I got it out you in 5 minutes. So I think that's a good benediction, y'all. I've enjoyed our time together. If you don't already follow me on YouTube, it's Lonee Appleton Lives on YouTube. I'm trying to get my followers up there because ultimately I want to transition to YouTube. And, you know, if you don't already have the merch, pick up your merch at LoneeTaylorArt.com. You know, support the community. Pick up your book, What's the Best That Can Happen, at LoneeTaylorArt.com or Amazon. Make sure the seller is Lonee Taylor. I also have a second book that I'm going to start letting you guys know. This was actually the very first book that I wrote, the Domino series, Sherry Tate. This is more erotic fiction, but it has a message. You know, I made a beautiful point about the black and white plight, talking about birds in my backyard. So you already know that there's some real teaching going on in here, even though it's fiction. This is available at Buy Book. The YouTube that I'm talking about is strictly where I publish my lives. It's not As the Apple Turns, which is my old content from 2019. Yeah, the content that I produced in 2019. So my Lonee Appleton Lives YouTube is linked in my bio now. So you can click on that and see if you already follow it. If you do, great. If you don't follow it, I need 55 followers there to be able to go live there. But you know, once I start going live there, you guys would have to intentionally at 12 o'clock or whenever you have a chance between 12 and 3, come holler at me. But this is available at buybooksontheweb.com. Yes, please support the community. I appreciate you all. I hope you all got to know each other. Sorry. You know what? I learned how to type in the chat box. Buy books on the web. Don't make noise, Bubba. Buybooksontheweb.com for the Domino series, and then LoneeTaylorArt.com. Ooh, Barbara, I don't want you reading my erotic fiction. Oh, Lord, I don't want you to read this book. My YouTube, oh, okay. I don't want you reading that book. So, yeah, let me tell you my YouTube. It's linked in my bio, but it's Lonee Appleton Lives.
Live?
On YouTube. There you go.
On YouTube?
Yeah, so, yeah.
On YouTube.
Sis is hot. I'm gonna go work out now because I've been doing good. This will be day 11. I worked out 11 days consistently. I'm proud of myself. And, you know, I've done my lives consistently. I'm proud of myself. And we gotta catch wins. We gotta catch wins wherever we can. We gotta show turmeric for my hands. Yeah, I was putting it in my shakes and stuff like that, but then not shakes, it's my smoothies, but I stopped making smoothies. But yeah, I think we did something good here today. So I will see you guys. If you hit me with that belt, I promise we gonna have a problem.
You will bait me?
No, I'm not gonna spank you, but I'm gonna talk very sternly to you. So yes, stop. Not stop. I read stop. Tomorrow. I will see you guys tomorrow.
I will beat you.
No, you better not spank me today, tomorrow, or the day after. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. 18K likes.
Bye.
And 9 shares.
Bye.
Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Is that a happy meal?
See you in the comments.